advisory services offered through Summit Financial Group, Inc., a registered investment advisor. 847-735-9200. 250 East Illinois Road, Suite 201, Lake Forest, Illinois, 60045.
Lately, it seems you're not feeling quite right, as if your body is working against you. Dr. Amy and Associates can help create a path to achieve optimal health. Experience personalized health care for your mind, body, and spirit at a practice that blends holistic and traditional medicine.
Hi, I'm Dr. Amy Harris-Nuon of Dr. Amy and Associates. As an integrative health and wellness center, we take a team approach to your health care, so we welcome the opportunity to work collaboratively with your current health care provider. We're different from today's typical standard of care because our focus is understanding the root cause of your health problem, not just treating the symptoms. It's a personalized approach that explores a wide range of proven treatments and one that's focused on helping you achieve your health and wellness goals so you can achieve a full, happy, and satisfying life.
Call Dr. Amy and Associates to experience a whole-person integrative approach to health and wellness. 630-980-1400 or visit dramyandassociates.com. Dr. Amy and Associates, empowering people, changing lives.
5:10 and a check of the roads this early morning in our Alarm Detection System Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. And there are closures. Yorkville-Minkler blocked off between Hunt-Club and 71 with down power lines. And Des Plaines, Toohey is open again at Maple after there were down lines there. There are some fallen power cables in Burbank, like the 87th west or central, though 87th is still open. Carroll Stream, there's a crash, North Avenue just east of Gary. Lakeshore Drive, the signals are out in 47th and 31st, so careful there. Well south of Chicago, there was a closure of I-65 in the Remington area. Now it's just one left lane block, so you can get through that. And the Chicago expressways and tollways, it's windy. If you're hauling anything, make sure it's well tied down. Roads are wet, otherwise things are fairly quiet at the moment. Traffic is a service of PioneerElectronics.com. In Chicago, traffic information is vital. It can mean the difference between a 30-minute and a 2-hour drive. With Pioneer's in-dash GPS navigation, traffic is displayed on a map in real time. Traffic on demand. Visit PioneerElectronics.com/Chicago to find a retailer. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the AirComfort.com Weather Center, here is our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Windy and mild today with a full day of sunshine, high 54. Tonight, clear and breezy, low 37. Windy with a full day of sunshine again tomorrow, high 52. And at night, becoming mostly cloudy with a low 29. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
56 at O'Hare. Next news at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Ayn Rand Institute and the Yaron Brook Show. Heard Saturday afternoons at 4 here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and if you're watching us on the live stream, you'll note that we are the proud owners, each one of us, of a Scotch Lady, the Cow Guy, limited edition cow jacket that he wears on the trading floor. You've seen Scotch Lady. You've heard him on this show a bunch of times, but you see him on Fox Business.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about the markets, talking about economic policy. And he's the guy that has the cow jacket, Scott the Cow Guy.
Right, and we kept saying when he was on, like, hey, I want one of those jackets.
Yeah.
Where do you get those jackets?
And this is a collector's item. And this is, he wears it as a tribute to his father.
Right.
In the dairy business and so forth. But these are handsome and versatile.
This is so crazy. I could wear it to a Cub game. Holy cow.
Because
I feel a little bit like
you
a
could do
bovine
that, I
here.
suppose.
But I like the back it's a vented back.
It's breathable.
So that in case you get hot on the trading floor.
Well, yeah, all those animals on the trading floor, all those guys, that are, most of them, I mean, back in the day, most of them are drunk or,
Yeah.
they
And you mentioned
unshowered.
Yep. And you mentioned I could wear it to Oberweis, to the ice cream
Yeah,
place.
you could wear it to the ice cream place.
Yeah. I think I might wear it when we have our event, the first 100 days of Trump.
Oh.
I could wear it with some leggings, or maybe you guys call them jeggings, and some heels.
It's meggings for men. meggings.
Oh, that's where you
so
guys
you could wear your leggings and I could wear my meggings.
Oh, it's funny. I can't stop laughing.
Yeah, these
so
are
funny.
These are great. I love it.
We have to tweet out a picture of this too. Yeah,
we
he
will.
did.
Yeah, we will. We'll
The
definitely.
length on the arms is perfect for a tall lady like myself.
Yeah, and I've got.
Can you button it over there? Would you have the XXL or the?
I've got the 40 slim.
4XL. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as Scott said, he went to Baby Gap to get mine made. 'Cause I'm slimming down in this new year, trying to provide an example for Babs. Anyway, we will definitely take a picture and tweet this out. And thanks to Scott Shalady for these classics, these limited edition trading jackets. So great. I want a badge.
Wear this around Lakeview, you know.
I want a replica Shalady badge so I can sneak onto the trading floor as well. Although I'm not sure I know what the signals are for buying versus selling, or
you'll figure it out.
But the open outcry pits are gone anyway. So.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, a simpler time.
Yes.
A simpler time. Much to discuss. Big news yesterday with the Republicans introducing their Obamacare replace legislation, as well as Trump reissuing his executive order as it pertains to persons coming from this country illegally. The interesting thing about this, lesson learned for the Trump team, as far as I'm concerned,
right.
All cliches are true. Measure twice, cut once.
What does that mean?
Well, it means telegraph what you're going to do to kind of seed the turf for what you're about to plant. Roll it out with the heads of key agencies that will be responsible for the enforcement: Secretary of State, Secretary of Homeland Security, Attorney General of the United States, and have thought through some of the specifics, make the responses to the concerns you can anticipate, like legal permanent residence status, explicit, so that you don't allow the left to demagogue the issue the way they did the first time. I'm not saying the first executive order wasn't well within the president's authority. It was.
Yeah, but the people who were enforcing it, they were blindsided by it. They went into work one day and here are the 6 countries that you're not going to let people in from.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit chaotic.
It was a little bit chaotic.
And it was chaotic for people who are already en route, to this country. So it wasn't smooth. That's why we have 10 days to let everybody know what the rules are.
And yesterday was much smoother, starting with the fact that Rexon, our guy Rexon, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, he stepped to the podium to unveil it, set the tone on the principle, then explain the policy.
The executive order signed by the president earlier today, protecting the nation from foreign terrorist entry into the United States, is a vital measure for strengthening our national security. It is the president's solemn duty to protect the American people. And with this order, President Trump is exercising his rightful authority to keep our people safe.
And Rexon continued with a message to our allies on topic.
To our allies and partners around the world, please understand this order is part of our ongoing efforts to eliminate vulnerabilities that radical Islamist terrorists can and will exploit for destructive ends.
And now this tightened up order, there's some changes, important changes, including the fact that Iraq is not on the temporary travel ban. And let's repeat, because it'll be something that will be purposely misstated by the D.C. press corps: travel ban, travel ban, travel ban. It's a pause. It's a temporary travel ban. It's 90 days. And Rexon explained essentially why Iraq is off, and how this administration, the Trump administration, has worked with Iraq to make sure that safeguards were in place that inspire confidence.
This intense review over the past month identified multiple security measures that the State Department and the government of Iraq will be implementing to achieve our shared objective of preventing those with criminal or terroristic intent from reaching the United States. I want to express my appreciation to Prime Minister al-Abadi of Iraq for his positive engagement and support for implementing these actions. The United States welcomes this kind of close cooperation with countries in every region of the world who share our commitment to national security.
And Well, the left was saying yesterday that this is going to encourage more terrorist activity and more people are going to harm Americans because it's a religious ban. You know, they see it as,
It's the
Trump's,
same old.
right, the same old, but Trump during the campaign saying he wanted a ban on Muslims. They can't process it any other way. But one part is this: people that are coming from Syria, they're not banned indefinitely. That was a big change too.
Yeah, they weren't banned indefinitely. It was 120 days. So this is the whole executive order is temporary in nature, and I think the explanation that was provided and tightening up the language really takes the sting out of the left. I mean, they're going to lodge the same protests. There were protests yesterday, of course. They're going to make the same arguments. They're going to call it a religious ban. They're going to call it a ban rather than a pause, which is what it actually is. But this really takes the sting out of it. Here's something else that takes the sting out of the left's argument. Also announced yesterday that the FBI is investigating approximately 300 refugees in the United States for terrorist-related activity.
Oh.
That's the FBI official calling that a truly alarming number, adding there are also approximately 1,000 investigations into potential domestic terrorists inspired or motivated by ISIS. We knew that. That's been ongoing. But the 300 figure in terms of FBI investigations, that's sort of a big deal.
Well, Homeland Security Chief General John Kelly said, we have these 6 countries, but others could be added.
I don't believe that the list will be expanded, but there are countries out there that we will ask, like Iraq has done, by the involvement of their prime minister, to cooperate with us better, to get us the information we need. There's probably 13 or 14 other countries, not all of them Muslim countries, not all of them in the Middle East.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the point is the Iraq example is an illustrative one, right? Because, say, look, we worked with Iraq. We're allied with the Iraq governing coalition to try and combat ISIS in the region. They made necessary changes, enhancing security protocols that give us greater confidence in knowing who may be coming from Iraq, including those who have aided and
a lot
American
of interpreters.
troops.
A lot of
Right.
interpreters had to stay home. And not come here.
So because they changed their protocols and enhanced security measures, we changed ours. Is there anything that other than anything about that is anything but eminently reasonable? We don't have confidence. We'd like you to pursue these measures. Let's work together to figure out how we can get the background we need, and you have the background you need, which sharing intelligence. I don't know exactly what it is, but enhance knowledge to aid security. And when you do that, then we have confidence in the system, and you don't need to be put on kind of the special consideration list. I mean, this is the cause for such furor, religious tests and all. I mean, it just takes the left's argument away. I mean, not that they had much of one, but it really continues to undermine it when you do exactly what you said you were going to do based on the principle that you outlined. That's what I hear the Trump administration doing, and this against the backdrop of the FBI announcement about 300 refugees that are under investigation for terrorism here. There's also this story. How about this story? The story of Tanvir Hussain. Hussain was originally denied a visa because of President Trump's migration pause to come and compete in the World Snowshoe Championships in New York.
I had no idea.
You didn't get your tickets this year?
I didn't.
March Madness, the Snowshoe Championships.
Come on, Jacobson.
And
What's wrong with you?
And that's when the good Democrat senators from New York, Kristen Gillibrand and Senate Minority Leader Pagliacci, sprang into action.
Oh, they ran to this person's defense.
Mm-hmm. No reason to keep
snowshoeing so important. Snowshoeing's more important than national security.
There's no question about that.
I don't know if you knew that.
It's our national sport.
Yeah.
Tanvir Hussain, no reason to keep him out of the country, so they let him in, and then he molested a 12-year-old girl. Another Muslim who completed in the World Snowshoe Championships, I don't know
what is
what
up
place
with this
he finished.
snowshoe championship?
Came to Hussein's defense saying he's not aware that she was a minor in the first place. We told him later that she's a minor. He doesn't understand proper English, so he doesn't know. You'll note for the record that is not a defense to statutory rape or to molesting a minor that you were unaware of her age, or that it was the girl, or the argument that essentially that it was the girl's fault for not disclosing her age. So that's what would happen at the hands of Senators Gillibrand and Schumer from New York.
Did he get kicked out of the snowshoe competition?
Yeah, and then some. And that's what happens when you don't care about vetting. Is that a religious test? No. Is that a ethnicity test? Is that xenophobia? No. It's just security protocol. It's knowing who's coming into this country and having a pretty good idea of why they're coming. It's very pedestrian, and I think the rollout yesterday, which was very competent and added much clarity to the Trump administration position, will do two things. One, minimize the hysteria that surrounds this issue, and two, enhance our security, and those are two good things.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Jerry Sandusky moved to a medium security prison. Wow, really unbelievable. Today it's going to be windy and mild with plenty of sunshine, a high of 54 degrees. Then tonight, clear and breezy, a low of 37. And tomorrow, just really a spectacular day. We're going to have windy conditions still, but plenty of sunshine again, a high of 52. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Well, it's windy. Despite the winds and the conditions, almost all flights are on schedule at both O'Hare and Midway. There are some down power lines and lots of traffic signal issues. In Yorkville, a rather significant thoroughfare, Minkler Road, is closed between Hunt Club and 71 with down power lines. There are also some down cables in Burbank on 87th west of Central, though 87th is open. Signals are flashing red on the southwest side on Pulaski at the Stevenson Expressway, also on Demon at the Stevenson. So likely to see some backups there getting to I-55. Inbound Ryan at Roosevelt, there's some high water in the left lane. Traffic is slow starting around Cermak, just a 2-minute delay right now. Bishop Ford, a little heavy Cottage Grove to the Ryan. Southbound I-65, well south of Chicago and Remington, there was a total closure of southbound 65 with a truck crash. Now it's just a left lane that's blocked. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
If you save $500,000 in an IRA or 401k, you know it's not really $500,000, right? Because you still have to pay taxes on that money. But here's something that will shock you. Some people will pay through the nose in taxes when they withdraw money from their retirement accounts, while a smart and savvy few will legally pay far less. Could you potentially save thousands of dollars in taxes on your IRA or 401k and keep this money for yourself? Yes, you could. Learn how in a free report called 6 Ways to Tax-Free Income in Retirement from me, Tom Fortino, host of the Alpha Wealth Hour. The free report could save you tens of thousands of dollars. Call 630-873-6326. It's your choice. Pay the IRS or keep this money for yourself. Call 630-873-6326 or visit us on alphawealthgroup.com. That's alphawealthgroup.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, Inc.
Here's microbiologist Dr. Kim O'Neill talking about balance of nature.
Scientific research has shown that many cancers and lifestyle diseases can be prevented with a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. This prevention comes from the phytochemicals in the plants. They fight against oxidants that damage the cell's DNA, causing mutations that lead to disease. I don't take any supplementation, but I take Balance of Nature because I've seen it in my lab. I've seen the immune response increase. I've seen your DNA repair capacity increase, and I've seen DNA protection, and I know that it works.
Balance of Nature is providing you the best offer they've ever given. 2 free months of fruits and veggies and free shipping. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
On March 10th, Catholic Citizens of Illinois will feature Dr. Richard Basurgian, president and founder of Yorktown University and author of The Coming Death of Higher Education. Dr. Basurgian's talk will highlight the nature of higher education, the value of character education, and the failure to educate for responsible citizenship. The current system of higher education has priced itself beyond the ability of most American families to pay for a college education. As a graduate of Notre Dame, Dr. Basurgian plans to focus his talk on Catholic higher education. Join them at the Union League Club of Chicago on March 10th at 11:45 a.m. That's March 10th at 11:45 in the morning. For reservations or information, visit CatholicCitizens.org. That's CatholicCitizens.org. Or call Maureen at 708-352-5834. That's 708-352-5834.
Point Blank Range and Gun Shop provides a clean and safe indoor shooting range and retail store. At Point Blank, associates focus on customer needs, whether they're an expert or new to shooting. That's why people are talking about Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable too.
Point Blank Range and Gun Shop. Experience the difference. ShootPointBlank.com for more information.
Hiring is the most challenging part of my job.
We started using ZipRecruiter about 3 months ago. One click and my job was posted to 200 plus job boards, all the top sites.
All of the candidates came to my dashboard, and it's easy to compare them.
And I couldn't believe the number of great applicants we got. I don't know how we hired before ZipRecruiter.
Find the best candidates with ZipRecruiter, where your job is just one click away from 200 plus job sites. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/start now. That's ZipRecruiter.com/start now.
AM 560, The Answer.
So you got to tweet out that picture.
Yeah, we will tweet out the picture of
new jackets.
The Scotch Lady, the Cow Guy jackets. Also, there's that $1 million award for anybody who comes up with a solution to the Asian carp problem.
Yeah, to eradicate Asian carp in Michigan. Yes.
Amby Davis's bowling ball may have it. Tell Trump the Asian carp are Muslim.
Oh, funny. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Chance the Rapper delivers to the kiddies.
Yeah, he $1 million donation to CPS. Should he have just lit his money on fire instead at 5:38?
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
54 degrees here. We have seen a top wind gust overnight now of 70 miles an hour. We'll tell you where in a moment. But teams are assessing major damage this morning after storms and at least 2 tornadoes ripped through Kansas City's suburbs. Olathe Fire Department Captain Mike Hall.
And there's so many vehicles over there working right now with emergency responders. A lot of folks, neighboring fire departments, Kansas City, Kansas is even coming down. The police departments here, MedAct, we're all working together because something like this, when it does happen, takes all the resources you can get.
About 15 people are hurt. None of the injuries life-threatening, according to Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas officials. One school district closing classes for the day. Others will follow suit. Another round of storms hit the Chicago area last night, triggering several tornado watches, severe weather warnings, top wind gusts sandwich 70 miles an hour, others well over the 59-mile-an-hour mark into the 60s across the south suburbs and out west in Rockford and in the Quad Cities. The National Weather Service says it will take a little bit of a handle, a little bit of time to assess damage from the straight-line winds and severe weather. High winds caused thousands to be without power this morning as well. Americans are getting their first glimpse at what might replace your current health care coverage under the Affordable Care Act as part of the push to repeal and replace Obamacare. House Republicans have unveiled their proposal. Among other things, it would not require everyone to be insured and would provide monthly tax credits to help people buy insurance on the open marketplace if their employers do not provide it. A military father who spoke at the Democratic National Convention last year will not give a planned speech in Canada. He says his travel privileges are under review. Kazir Khan, whose Army captain's son was killed in Iraq in 2004, says he's waiting to learn more about that situation. Police say they're searching for a man who's been charged in the strangulation death of a lawyer in his suburban Chicago office 3 months ago. Northbrook police say an arrest warrant was issued for 50-year-old John Panaligan of Aurora. He's charged with first-degree murder in the death of Jigar Patel, who was found dead on December 7. Reggie Jackson, 26. Pistons pull away from the Bulls, 109-89. to 95. Cubs outslugged the Angels in Cactus League play. White Sox lost to the Padres. The news a service of Westin Hotels and Resorts. Westin knows how disruptive travel can be to your well-being, but with rejuvenating heavenly beds, a nutritious Superfoods RX menu, and gear lending for when you leave your workout gear at home, Westin will help you stay in control and rise above it all. Westin, let's rise. Learn more at westin.com. 5:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher is for an investigation in response to President Trump's claims of wiretapping.
I've been reevaluating the thought about a special prosecutor. I need a special prosecutor. We need a bipartisan committee and oversight and go into this and let's investigate it all. Let's look at everything the Obama administration has done, the Trump administration with its supposed ties to Russia. Get it all out there.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Are you hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. Post your next job opening on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com.
Hey everyone, Dave from Draft Tech here. The construction season is almost here and it could be big. Time for all the contractors out there to get their BIM help lined up. This year, we want you to take a good look at Draft Tech. To the MEP guys, we're experienced. We know your equipment and how to get it routed, installed, and supported. If you're new to BIM, we can take you through a project from start to finish. If you're already doing BIM, we can help get you through some tight deadlines. To the generals, consider using us for your coordination and your MEP subs. We'll get you to your sign-offs faster than you thought possible. Consider Draft Tech as your one-source solution. We've got Revit and AutoCAD. We can help you out with some affordable 3D scanning, and we're right here in Chicagoland. We can come to the job site and work with your people to head off any problems. Check us out at draftingresults.com. We're a good number to have in your phone. That's Draft Tech at draftingresults.com. Draft Tech, cutting-edge technology, old-school service.
Oh, this roof is so needy.
Call Crumweedy.
How do you spell that?
Krumw.
Oh, just go to myroofisneedy.com.
If your roof is needy, call Crumweedy. This is Greg Olson of Crumweedy.
And I'm Mark Olson from Crumweedy. We are a third-generation family-run business, and we have been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953.
You can't do that unless you do really great roofs. We share the same conservative values as you, and we want to do your roof. Here's what you can expect.
First, no high pressure. You make the choice. Whatever option you choose, count on getting a roof that lasts at a fair price.
You see, application is the key. We follow the manufacturer's specifications so your warranty is intact. A lot of companies don't do that, and that could void your warranty.
Our installation is outstanding. No horror stories here. The roof you need that will fix your problems. When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy.
Go to myroofisneedy.com. myroofisneedy.com.
5:37. Let's get an update on the roads. Plenty of problems this morning cropping up in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. And many of the problems are southwest of downtown Chicago. There are issues getting to the Stevenson Expressway via Damon or Pulaski because the signals are flashing red. So traffic's starting to back up. The ramp from northbound 83 to northbound I-55, that's blocked right now due to a crash. In Burbank, they're down power cables on 87th west of Central. In Yorkville, Minkler Road is closed between 71 and Hunt Club with down power lines. The Edens is fine right now. The Kennedy as well. Mount Eisenhower, a little heavy around First Avenue. And on Stevenson, delays start at Cicero. 38 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 18 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 19 minutes, 80-94 to the Rhine. Almost no flight delays despite those winds. Traffic is a service of swap.com. Nothing beats the joy of thrift shopping. With millions of items on swap.com, now you can shop anytime for clothing, toys, and more for the whole family. Now through March 15th, save 20% on your first purchase with code SAVE20. Swap.com. Unleash your thrift instinct. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the aircomfort.com Weather Center, windy, mild, plenty of sunshine today. High of 54, currently 55. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
AM 560, The Answer.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So Chance the Rapper, fresh off pantsing Bruce Rauner last week, is staying in the news. He announced yesterday he's going to make a $1 million donation to the Chicago Public Schools.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that great news? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line if you want to offer your comment about Chance the Rapper, our de facto mayor/governor.
Well, we knew he was going to do something because he said his meeting with Governor Rauner was vague and unsuccessful, and even told the media yesterday that he had spoken with Governor Rauner, several times over the weekend, but nothing progressed in the conversation, so he did something about it.
I am donating $1 million to CPS.
Okay, and he challenged other corporations to do the same. It was a call to action, Dan.
I'm challenging major companies and corporations in Chicago and all across the U.S. to donate and to take action.
I think it's cute when kids want to get involved, and I appreciate that. He might as well light his money on fire. And he should educate himself a little bit. I mean, I'm not surprised given that.
Well, he's a CPS graduate himself. He has money, and he wants to give back to the community.
That's not lost on me.
Okay.
His father, Ken Bennett, is Deputy Chief of Staff and Director of the Mayor's Office of Public Engagement for Tiny Dancer. His dad came up in politics, starting as an aide to Harold Washington. Chance the Rapper, on volunteering for Obama back in the 2012 cycle. Working with Obama was super dope.
Oh, boy.
Talks just like I do. My dad worked for Obama. He's been working with Obama since, I think, the early 2000s as a campaign manager and so forth. Then he did mad volunteer work this year, which is the best kind of volunteer work.
Mad.
And he was still working his government job because he's the regional director for the Department of Labor. So he was doing his government job but also doing volunteer work for Obama. So political family. Of course, Democrats, Chicago Democrats. Dad worked for Harold Washington, worked for Rahm, worked for the Obama Department of Labor.
And Michelle Obama sent out a tweet. Thanks, Chance the Rapper, for giving back to the Chicago community, which gave us so much.
You know what would have been better? More productive use of that $1 million if he wanted to make a point about the Chicago public school systems.
What?
Would be to have put it in front of the CPS administration building and lit it on fire. Because that's what CPS does every day.
Well, I was wondering.
For increments that are much bigger than that. $1 million?
I was thinking, God, I wish he could follow his money to see how it is spent, whose pocket it might line. Is it really going to go to the children? I thought he would have been better off just handing checks to those kids and their parents, saying, "Here's 10,000, here's 10,000, here's 10,000."
To use for education.
To use for education. Buy yourself an iPad. Get some.
Buy yourself access to a new school is the real issue.
Okay.
I mean,
well, some people don't want to leave their neighborhoods, and some people, their parents went to that school, so they wanted to keep them at that school.
Right. My parents didn't get educated, so I want to continue that tradition of not being educated in the Chicago public school system because that's what's actually happening with a few exceptions, a very small percentage of exceptions.
I think the educators at Blaine are wonderful.
I'm happy for you to wave your home team flag.
Okay.
The reality is system-wide, it is a very small percentage of children that are being properly educated and prepared for post-secondary work for the real world. That's just a fact. And the numbers are indisputable. In fact, they're so indisputable, those in charge of CPS don't even dispute them. They just make excuses for them that they've been making for the last half a century. Okay, fine. Here's the thing. Chance the Rapper, he's a child. And that's why it was embarrassing for Governor Rauner to engage him. If you want to have a grown-up conversation, Chance the Rapper, call me. Because I'll lay it to you straight, because I'm not a pandering politician or a craven educrat in charge of CPS. Going to give you the old pat on the back. Yay! No, not yay. Not yay. Why don't you learn something about CPS before you preen before the cameras? Because it's about Chance. It's not about doing anything for CPS. Of course it is. He's an immature child. That's what he is.
I think you're being too hard on him.
I'm sure you do. Here's the deal.
Because this immature child gave $1 million, and I certainly would. I mean, that is the most gracious gift that he could give, I think.
Why?
Well, because he actually thinks it's going to go to help the children.
Oh, he actually thinks. So you don't believe it either.
No,
so we should perpetrate this fraud and celebrate it.
I never criticize anybody who donates some of their earnings to try and help kids.
I do, because they're not helping kids. He's hurting them. He's hurting them by perpetuating the myth that it's a money problem in CPS and that $1 million from chance or $1 million from some corporation is going to change the future for the overwhelming majority of the kids in that system. It's not. That's the lie. So he's financing a lie, and that is not something to celebrate. So here's the deal. We've never been here before because we have no institutional memory in Chicago, because we're all automatons under the dominion of Chicago crime families, and we're just ecstatic about it. But do you remember 22 years ago, the Annenberg Foundation? Walter Annenberg's foundation? Made big news.
I do.
Governor Edgar was there. Mayor Daley was there. $50 million matching grant to CPS. $50 million, almost 25 years ago.
That's like $100 million now. Where did that money go?
It was actually $100 million then because it was a matching grant.
Okay, thanks.
And
you do the numbers. I got it. But what happened to that money?
Right. Yeah. What happened to that money? What happened to the billions upon billions of dollars thrown down a rat hole in CPS to finance the adults in the system at the expense of children, to try and prop up this Politburo-style central planned failure? And we're supposed to celebrate chance? No. I'm not celebrating people who perpetuate a fraud and who underwrite fraud. That's what he's doing. He's ignorant. He's ignorant. And I don't care how much money you have, you can be ignorant. We got all kinds of people with money in this city and state that are ignorant, that are the low information voters. Some of the wealthiest people in this state are the lowest information voters of all, or they just don't care. They can choose because they perpetuate systems they know are failures. Is there any confusion about CPS being one of the most expensive failures in the country at the K through 12 level? Is that in dispute? It's not. It's not. So, unfortunately, we don't have grown-ups in charge of the city or the state. But someday, if we do, maybe someone will put it between Chance's eyes and not be so afraid, or not pander to him to try and get some cheap earned media because he's a black rap star and I'm connecting with the kids in the community.
He made something of himself. He grew up in West
I'm
Chatham,
real happy for him.
and he's not in jail. He graduated from Jones Prep.
I'm not in jail is not an accomplishment in life. Let's raise the bar and our expectations for young people. How about it? Ron in the South Side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, Don, Dan, and Amy. You know what that money is, Dan and Amy? It's like a flea on an elephant's behind. Really insignificant. I'm going to make 3 points. Amy, you mentioned giving it to the parents or to the students. See, that will never happen because you know what that begins to do? That opens up the whole discussions about choice and vouchers.
That's
and the
right.
money going with the parents. And then you'll get the idiots from the public schools saying they don't know how to make a decision. As I have told y'all numerous times, Danny Davis said, I'll close by saying this. His money I would have commended him. I would have even written him if he had sent that money to Urban Prep or either Hales Franciscan. Hales Franciscan was going to close. It was educating African-American young men who are going on to college just like Urban Prep. But see, people don't have the money. Well, actually, the parents do have the money, but it's tied from school. So if he wants to do something to please me, he would have done that. Other than that, what he did, as you said, then that means absolutely not. That's grandstanding, which fits into the whole scheme of the narrative of these people in Chicago public school system. Thanks and have a good day.
Thanks, Ron. That's what it is. It's grandstanding, and that's what we get from politicians and celebrities in this city and state, grandstanding, not system change, because grandstanding doesn't prompt system change. And Ron is actually right. Do one of two things. You want to really make an impact? You want to save as many children as you can with $1 million? Send it to models that are working. Urban Prep, Tim King's Urban Prep Academies. That's a good suggestion.
That's a great school.
There are many others. The Catholic schools in Chicago that are also struggling, that do a great job educating children. Oh, by the way, mostly minority children, mostly black children. They don't have to be Catholic.
You let in Episcopalians?
The Catholic philosophy, we educate people because we're Catholic, not because they are. And the other way is, hey, set up a Chance the Rapper Foundation, scholarship foundation, and grant scholarships to actual children and families that do want access to the kind of schools that Chance the Rapper got to go to because he came from a connected family, a wealthy family.
Yeah, Jones College Prep, that's a selective enrollment high school.
Oh, right. So
he was suspended his senior year for possession of marijuana, but bounced back and graduated.
So you want to pay it forward? Provide the resources that give other people the opportunities that you had. That's how you pay it forward, not by financing this centralized failure.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Windy and mild today. Plenty of sunshine, a high of 54 degrees. Tonight, clear and breezy, a low of 37. And then tomorrow, plenty of sunshine once again with windy conditions, a high of 52 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Amy, the inbound Eisenhower now has about a 2-minute delay from 25th to Harlem. Northbound I-55, the on-ramp from northbound 83 is blocked with a crash. Then the Stevenson is 42 minutes, 355 to the drive. Ryan, 21 minutes, 95th to downtown. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey, check this out. Once again, MyPillow sweetened the deal. In addition to the Mike Lindell 4-pack special with 40% off 2 premium MyPillows plus 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, you'll also get free shipping. In fact, you'll get free shipping off any order over $100. Remember, Mike Lindell invented MyPillow for everybody with pillow-related sleep issues. You can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need, regardless of sleep position. You'll get into deep sleep faster and stay there longer. I know I do. No more waking up to a stiff neck or headache. It's made in the U.S. of A. It has a 10-year warranty, and I love it that it's washable and dryable with a 60-day money-back guarantee. So here's what you do. Call 800-489-0201. Use the promo code Amy to receive this unreal deal. And if you've been putting off purchasing a MyPillow, it's time to finally start getting a great night's sleep. You deserve it. Go to MyPillow.com. Use the promo code Amy.
Your business requires protection. Break-ins, vandalism, and fires happen, so it's important to prevent losses. That's why for over half a century, Chicagoland companies have trusted Active Alarm Company. From planning and installation to maintenance and monitoring, Active Alarm are the protection pros. Active Alarm Company is a UL-listed alarm service company and a platinum-level Honeywell-authorized security dealer, one of 22 nationally and only 2 in Illinois. And you'll always speak live with a team member. Active Alarm offers the newest equipment, including security, fire, access control, video systems, and the most responsive technical support. So if you need your first alarm system, an updated system, or monitoring, call Active Alarm Company for your free security analysis and quote at 847-438-2600 or visit ActiveAlarm.com. The protection pros at Active Alarm Company are A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and a Honeywell authorized security dealer. That's 847-438-2600 or online at ActiveAlarm.com. License number 127000541.
Running a business can be challenging, especially in Illinois. Mountains of regulation, taxes, fees, and more could be coming. So business owners who manage to survive and thrive deserve to be recognized. And that's exactly what we here at AM 560 are doing this spring on our AM 560 business tour presented by Signature Bank. Well, tomorrow will be in Melrose Park. It's a way for us to celebrate local businesses overcoming the odds and succeeding in spite of the many challenges they face. Think of it as making businesses great again. We are broadcasting our show live from various locations throughout Chicagoland. Does your business have a great success story? If so, we want to hear about it. Go to 560theanswer.com/business. Fill out the brief form to tell us about how you and your business are beating the odds to serve your clients and community. We're selecting several more businesses as stops on our AM 560 business tour to broadcast from your location and share your success with our audience. So go to 560theanswer.com/business to tell us your story. Again, that's 560theanswer.com/business. And we may be stopping at your location this spring on our AM 560 business tour sponsored by Signature Bank.
They are here, circling over your head, and they're tracking you down.
You feel overwhelmed, like you can't escape. You need a solution to get your back taxes filed, to put your life back on track. You need someone who can keep the vultures at bay and work directly with the IRS to leverage every opportunity to settle your tax debt. Mary Karpowitz, CEO of Comprehensive Tax Solutions, is licensed to represent you before the IRS. Don't let the IRS threaten you. You should never need to speak to them directly. Mary does that for you. Comprehensive Tax Solutions will help you settle your entire IRS tax debt for up to 85% off the original amount owed, including penalties and interest if you qualify. Comprehensive Tax Solutions, family owned in Chicagoland, can be a lifesaver for you. Call 708-478-6770, 708-478-6770, or go to resolveyourtaxproblems.com. Call 708-478-6770 now.
Hi, Amy Jacobson here. You know, the best home improvement decision I ever made was to call CertaPro Painters. No joke. Last spring, their trained, talented painters magically reformed my porch. Property values actually went up. But now that winter is set in, let's get your interior painting done, and CertaPro Painters are the only ones to call. You know, CertaPro Painters is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year, and we invite you to experience the CertaPro difference. When they come into your home, they are so quiet they won't wake a baby, and guess what? The best part is they clean up after themselves. So with this new year, you should refresh and renew your living space. Book your interior painting project today. For a free estimate, call our good friends over there at CertaPro at 1-800-GO-CERTA, that's Certa with a C, or visit CertaPro.com. And we invite you to experience the CertaPro difference. I'm glad I called them. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
You're the one that gets it done. The person your friends call to see if you can fix it. Brakes? No biggie. Shocks and struts? Simple and straightforward. The catalytic converter heat shield? Come on. If it has wheels, you can make it go. But not having the right part can bring your project to a screeching halt. Problem solved with MyPartsGarage.com. My Parts Garage is not a big box store that needs to wait to get a part in. My Parts Garage is the warehouse that sells wholesale to you. They own the inventory, so your part is always in stock. But wait, there's more. Like free shipping within 24 hours, in-state next-day delivery, or pick it up today at the warehouse. Plus, the customer service is seriously awesome. So the last thing you need to do is drive fast and furiously to find auto parts. With the average driver in Chicago commuting at least 24 miles per day, people are spending more hours in their car than they do at home. Drivers need you, the mechanic. You need MyPartsGarage.com. Lowest prices guaranteed.
5:56. Let's get an update on the roads this morning. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Yorkville, Minkler Road is shut down between 71 and Hunt Club with down power lines. There's some issues along I-55. The ramp from northbound 83 to the inbound Stevenson is blocked with a crash. And you can expect delays on both Pulaski and Damon approaching the Stevenson. The signals are flashing red there. On the Stevenson itself, the inbound delays start around Central Avenue. 43 minutes, the 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound found at 34. No delays to report yet on the 8 into the Kennedy. The Eisenhower, 33 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. Outbound find at 29. Ryan, 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 19 minutes, 8094 to the merge. Traffic is a service of Staples. Are you trying to acquire new customers for your business? Staples Print and Marketing Services helps you promote your business with low prices on presentations, signs, pens, mugs, and more. Right now, you can get 15% off custom signs and banners. Ends 324. See an associate for details. Staples, make more happen. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues after an update from Fox News, your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the aircomfort.com Weather Center, here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Windy with sunshine today, gusts up to 35 miles per hour, high 54. Then a clear and breezy night, low 37. Sunshine again tomorrow, windy with gusts up to 40 miles per hour during the day and 30 miles per hour at night. High tomorrow 52 and a low 29. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
52 right now at O'Hare and at 5:58. Here are the stories we're following on AM 560, The Answer. Teams assessing damage after another round of storms rakes Illinois last night, triggering some tornado watches and severe weather warnings, a top local wind gust at about 70 miles an hour. Mayor Emanuel responding to President Trump's revised immigrant travel restrictions. The president signing a new executive order yesterday, temporarily banning U.S. travel from 6 majority Muslim nations. Former Chicago lawyer who threatened to sue thousands who downloaded a pornographic video pleaded guilty to fraud charges. The Justice Department announcing John Steele, who currently resides in Pennsylvania, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit mail fraud, wire fraud, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Authorities are investigating after a man was struck and killed by a semi in Aurora near Lake and Lawndale overnight. And the Indiana Supreme Court will travel to retiring Justice Robert Rucker's high school alma mater later this week to hear oral arguments in Gary, Indiana, in a civil negligence case. The news, a service of Accountemps. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. More Dan and Amy coming up after Fox News. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. Republicans are moving forward on their promise to repeal and replace Obamacare, and Democrats want no part of it.
It will raise costs on average Americans and cut back on their benefits.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, there is a bill now in the House. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the American Health Care Act gets rid of the individual mandate and subsidies. It makes tax credits available to help low and middle income Americans pay for health insurance. Not all Republicans are on board. Senator Rand Paul says the bill looks like Obamacare light. House Ways and Means Committee Republican Chairman Kevin Brady disagrees.
It is Obamacare gone because we repeal all those taxes, those mandates, those subsidies.
The bill preserves protections for those with pre-existing conditions and allows young adults to stay on their parents' plans up to age 26. Dave.
Rachel, there is storm damage to clean up in Kansas and Missouri. Tornadoes damaged dozens of homes and trees, and power lines were down northwest of Minneapolis. It might be from a rare winter tornado. If confirmed, it'd be the earliest twister to ever hit Minnesota. China is not happy that the U.S. is moving forward with a missile defense system to help the South Koreans.
A U.S. military transport plane arrives at Osan Air Base in South Korea, delivering 2 rocket launchers known as THAAD. South Korea says it needs them, faced with this. North Korea's launch Monday of 4 ballistic missiles shown on state television. THAAD rockets can destroy such missiles mid-flight.
That's Fox's Alistair Wanklin in our Asia Bureau. Casey Anthony gives her first interview since being infamously acquitted of murdering her daughter Kaylee, claiming she still doesn't know what happened.
Everyone else has their theories. I don't know.
Anthony admits to the AP she lied to police, which she was convicted of. Now living in West Palm Beach, Florida, working for a detective who was an investigator on her defense team.
I'm okay with myself. I sleep pretty good at night.
Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Do you own or run a business in Illinois that succeeded in this challenging economic environment? If so, we want to hear about it. AM 560's Business Tour 2017, presented by Signature Bank, will be highlighting business success stories. Tell us your story and be a part of a live broadcast of Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy. Find out more and submit your information at 560theanswer.com/business. That's 560theanswer.com/business.
I know I need to earn my MBA if I want to move up. I'm looking for an MBA that offers unique concentrations. I want an online MBA that's top-ranked, established. I care about the school's reputation because I know my future employers will too.
Thinking about earning your MBA? At Northeastern's DeMoore McKim School of Business, we offer a 100% online MBA with 8 concentrations that can help set you apart in today's competitive workforce.
To speak to an enrollment advisor, text MANAGE to 37913.
Over 3 million businesses use Indeed.com for hiring, and independent research shows that 5 times more hires are made through Indeed than any other job site. By creating the easiest, most effective hiring experience, we help businesses find great new people every day. Right now, we're giving new users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job on the world's #1 job site. Claim your $50 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Fox River Periodontics, Chicagoland's specialist with dental implants. To get your smile back, visit implantsforme.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. At the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour, we're going to have Jim Kellstrom, former assistant director of the FBI, on to talk about surveillance in general, whether it's, I don't know, Republican presidential candidates and their aides, or it's refugees seeking asylum in this country. But this continued to be the topic of conversation yesterday, of course, because you have the D.C. press corps melting down over the Trump tweets over the weekend, the storm that he created with his tweets and his allegation that Obama ordered him to be surveilled, bugged Trump Tower, as it were. And nowhere is there a better example of the self-indulgent, maudlin meltdown that you see going on throughout the D.C. press corps than on Morning Joe yesterday.
Oh, did their heads implode?
Oh, boy.
Let me guess. Mika went cray-cray.
She's just so sad about it all. She almost started weeping.
Behind the scenes. We talked about this. He left in a rage on Friday afternoon. He was in a rage all weekend, reports have it.
Because
he was
it
in a
was
rage
discovered
when
that
he was,
his attorney general lied?
Because it was discovered that his attorney general lied, and so he's mad that his staff can't contain those stories. Maybe if his people
This is
stopped
a very
lying,
small man.
maybe if these people would stop lying about their contacts with Russia, maybe he could get out of the way and get some good press.
I'm going to
but they
get
can't
to
stop
President
lying.
Obama's response in just a moment. But Harold, there's a lot of reporting I have behind the scenes that Reince Priebus is flailing, to say the least, at his job. I'm hearing that from Bob Acosta. Robert Acosta is coming on later to talk about all the different sources he has on a story that's similar. But I also don't understand why the former head of Breitbart appears to be handing the president some fake news, and the president is just riffing on it wildly, with no sense that he is president of the United States, no respect for the office, and calling former president of the United States unbelievable names. We're at a low point in American history, and I don't know how anybody can defend this president, even if it's their job. Like, you've got to have a job after this. You've got to look in the mirror after this. Sarah Huckabee, or whoever is going to speak out next. You have to think about this country after this is over. You need to think of the end game here, because there is one at the rate we're going.
Oh, there's an end game. Did you see her voice crack at the end?
Yeah, she did crack.
Should all Trump advisors resign? I mean, that's what Mika said. You got to think about your next job. All Trump advisors, should they resign? Are you as ashamed of where our country is now as Mika, and also no labels, quote unquote, Republican Joe Scarborough? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line.
Well, something they said was really off at the beginning of that rant that she went on, her tear fest. And according to CNN, which I know some people think is fake news, but Donald Trump wasn't furious about Jeff Sessions allegedly lying or misleading the committee. He was upset that he recused himself from any Trump investigations.
Yeah, that's right.
But they said it wrong.
That's correct. You're right.
And then Steve Bannon, you can see him flailing his arms, and then he didn't get on Marine One to go on Air Force One to go to Florida. He met up with him the next day. And Reince Priebus, they kept saying that he didn't go either because there's turmoil. No, he didn't go because he was never planning on going to Florida anyway. That's the real situation. But they blew it out of proportion. They said, he's upset. He didn't go. He was never scheduled to go to Florida last weekend anyway.
You had Reince and Bannon sit together and be interviewed by Matt Schlapp at the Conservative Political Action Committee just a couple of weeks ago. And they addressed the kind of hysteria that you're hearing from the likes of the dimwits in the D.C. press corps like Mika and Joe, but they're both a couple of dingbats. The Attorney General lied? Is that what he did? He perjured himself? Well, where's the evidence?
He was upset about it? No.
Where's the evidence? There's just no interest in any evidence. And the other accusations that were embedded in that 122nd cry fest between Mika and Joe, and just trying to kind of one up each other with their high dungeon, is there's no evidence to support what they're implying either. Trey Gowdy, who's an actual adult, who actually deals in facts and evidence as a prosecutor and as a congressman, we've seen him perform in the Benghazi hearings and on other matters. He was on with Bill Hemmer on Fox yesterday and asked about both questions, about both the Russian contacts, because, Joe Scarborough, stop lying about all your contacts with the Russians, Trump people. Okay. As well as Trump's allegation about being surveilled by Obama.
But what do you think about his comment about the amount of information, the quality of evidence, et cetera?
I think Congress is much better equipped to do investigations than journalists are. We can't rely on anonymous sources. We can't rely on leaked information, classified information, which in and of itself is a crime. So with all due respect to the Reuters, I can't cross-examine anonymous sources. You can't even directly examine them. It's a lot easier to write a news piece than it is to conduct an investigation. What Congress needs is access to the witnesses, access to the documents, and to understand we don't run parallel criminal investigations. We have a job to do, but it is not to investigate crime.
Have you seen evidence that the Obama team did surveillance at Trump Tower?
No, sir.
Have you seen evidence that the Trump team colluded with the Russians during the election last year?
No, sir. And reports to the contrary have been described as demonstrably false to me by people who would know.
I mean, to me, this is relatively simple. You want to make an allegation. You can make an allegation. You want Congress to investigate it. If it's serious enough and there's enough basis for an investigation, have the oversight committees do the investigation do an investigation as Trey Gowdy describes it, and go over the facts lead. All this hysteria on the left, I think, is easily defanged. They're not protecting anybody. I have no interest in protecting anybody. Go wherever the facts lead. Go on your fishing expedition. Have your investigation. Ask all your questions. Look for any shards of evidence that may exist. But at some point, don't you have to present something other than a theory? You have to substantiate a theory at some point. And I suppose it would be at the end of some investigative process. The problem, of course, is that these things, as we saw with Benghazi, take interminably long, and it's difficult to keep everybody's attention, and it just becomes kind of a sideshow that bubbles to the surface intermittently over the course of months, if not years. So I don't know. I mean, I agree with Gowdy that Congress is better equipped to do an investigation than journalists are, but that's a low bar.
Right, but do you think President Obama, his administration, tapped Trump Tower? Or are you still out on a limb on that one?
I go where Mukasey is, a former George W. Bush Attorney General who was on with Martha Raddatz over the weekend. This week, by the way, Homeland, the show Homeland, officially jumped the shark. The last episode of Homeland this Sunday night. Yeah. Martha Raddatz interviews the president-elect, who's a Hillary Clinton surrogate. I mean, it's that they predicted Hillary Clinton, so the president-elect in Homeland is like a Hillary Clinton archetype. But so just as a Martha Raddatz aside, while I'm thinking about it, I was so disappointed. But
you'll keep watching, right?
I will watch. Mukasey is saying, look, Trump is not correct, but he's right. That surveillance based on seeking FISA orders in both June and October, there appears to have been surveillance ongoing. What was the nature of it, and who was being surveilled, and whether or not there was any, basically intelligence gathering, if you will, at Trump Tower? I don't know.
Well, but you know what? Stephen Hayes from the Weekly Standard, I read his article yesterday and loved it because he said it best. I mean, this is the Obama Department of Justice. Remember, they targeted James Rosen on Fox News as a possible criminal co-conspirator in a leak investigation. And then, what the IRS did to the Tea Party, to his political opponents, Obama's political opponents. I mean, they are capable of doing this.
Well, why don't you talk to Angela Merkel about being wiretapped?
Yeah, right. I mean, they've done it before to their allies and to their political opponents. So why wouldn't they do it to Donald Trump? I mean, it's a great piece if you can.
And we know Justice went to FISA, the FISA court twice, denied once in June, and granted the order in October. In addition, one addition, since you brought up justice, which is a good topic, Obama's Justice Department, Mark Hemingway, also from Weekly Standard. And remember, the Weekly Standard folks, Stephen Hayes, Mark Hemingway, Bill Kristol, not exactly Trump loyalists. Weren't exactly flacking for Trump during the campaign, you'll recall. In fact, many of them were never Trumpers. Right. To some extent still are. But Mark Hemingway raised another issue that occurred in the Obama Justice Department on the way out the door, just as these changes in protocols and intelligence sharing across intelligence agencies changed on his way out the door. These curious 11th hour changes by Obama. Listen to how they tried to booby trap justice to get one of their prosecutors to have oversight over these politically charged, at least, investigations into the Trump campaign.
Well, something fishy happened the final week of the Obama administration. The Obama White House quietly changed the line of succession of the Justice Department so that an Obama-friendly prosecutor would be put in charge should Jeff Sessions have to recuse himself. Now, obviously, last week, Attorney General Jeff Sessions did recuse himself from certain investigations involving the Trump campaign. Fortunately, a few weeks before that, the Trump White House caught on to what the Obama administration had done and changed the line of succession back such that a respected career Justice Department official will be handling those investigations. However, the prospect of an Obama crony having the power to appoint a special prosecutor to launch a politically charged inquest directed at the White House raises a troubling question. Did the Obama White House try and plant a booby trap to ensnare the Trump White House? In the absence of another explanation, that's a lot what it looks like.
Yeah, that's so, the idea that Obama, because the D.C. press corps likes him and his surrogates, I mean, think about who's around him. These bottom dwellers, and has been around him for a long time, these bottom dwellers like Tiny Dancer and Professional Liar, Red Diaper Baby David Axelrod. You think they're above any of this?
No.
Of course not.
Well, they've done it in the past.
Of course not. Well, right.
Angela Merkel, that's a great example because she's our ally. Why would we tap her phones?
Yeah, she wasn't too keen on it, I recall. Kellyanne Conway was on with Fox and Friends last night, and she basically summed all of this up quite nicely, I think.
This is a very typical response for the Democratic Party these days. It's that they have no message. I mean, they have no core. They have no message. Their message is, we don't want Donald Trump to be the president, and we're going to stop everything that he's doing.
Yeah, I think that's about it. That's about it. I mean, Chuck Schumer, is Senate Minority Leader Pagliacci, said it at the outset. Here's how we'll work with Donald Trump. If he walks away from everything that the Republicans are proposing and everything just about other than restriction of his trade policy that he said during the campaign. So if he basically agrees with me, then we'll work with him. And if he doesn't, then we won't, and we'll take every advantage and every opportunity to take him apart. And that's all the Democrats have. The message is Trump is an illegitimate president, and we're going to prosecute that case, and we're going to push this Russia narrative, for as far and as long as we can until it completely falls apart, until we see a real reversal in public opinion on the topic. And as long as Trump is, kind of in the mid-40s in terms of approval rating, it gives them enough standing to continue to demagogue these issues, to continue to spin these yarns, even sans evidence. But that's going to change at some point. But right now, Kellyanne Conway is exactly right. That's what the Democrats are doing with all of this business.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Coming up, it's finally here. Trump Care available online. We'll get the latest from C. Stephen Tucker. But first, here's your forecast. Windy and mild with plenty of sunshine. Just a nice day, a high of 54, and then a repeat for tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine, windy, a high near 52 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's the one and only Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. Northbound I-55. Delays start around Cass Avenue and continue to 83. The ramp from northbound 83 to the inbound Stevenson is blocked with a rollover crash. Also, there are issues on both Pulaski and Damon getting to the Stevenson. Delays there due to traffic signal issues. The Stevenson runs 43 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 34. Eden's 20 minutes, Lake Cook to the Junction, outbound 19. The Kennedy, 23 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 21. Inbound Eisenhower, delays start at Manheim. It's 40 minutes, Thorndale to downtown, outbound 30. Orion, 24 minutes, 95th to downtown. You got some high water at Roosevelt, the left lane. Only slight delays on I-57 to the Bishop Ford. Eastbound Adams Tollway heavy from the Tri-State to the Kennedy. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Listen up, time is just about up if you want to join me and Dan Proft and Joe Walsh in Punta Cana this year. You have just a few short days left to book that trip, so do it right now. We'll be staying at the Secrets Cap Cana Resort and Spa. It's in a gated community. We have our own marina. There's polo, yes, an equestrian village, and golf. 8 holes of the golf are along the ocean. It's really just a spectacular place. The resort is brand new. It has all the bells and whistles, 5 gourmet restaurants, just a beautiful beach. So don't put it off any longer. Let's go to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic. Get more information and book your trip today by visiting 560theanswer.com/passport. That's 560theanswer.com/passport. Time is running out to secure this exclusive price from our good friends at Apple Vacations.
Are your medical bills piling up due to cancer or another serious illness? You are not alone. Many people face this challenge. Here's how Coventry Direct can help. You can receive an immediate cash payment by selling your life insurance policy. If you have $100,000 or more of life insurance, you may be eligible to sell your policy, even a term policy. To find out if you qualify, call Coventry Direct today at 1-800-386-1700 to speak to one of our policy specialists. That's 1-800-386-1700. The cash you receive from selling your policy can be used to help pay medical bills or whatever you choose to give you financial security and peace of mind. Call Coventry Direct at 1-800-386-1700 or visit us at coventrydirect.com. Coventry Direct, giving you the cash you need when you need it most. Coventry Direct is a marketing company and will refer qualified policies to a licensed entity.
Are you behind in your mortgage, facing foreclosure, being given the runaround on a loan modification application by some bank or servicer? Well, you're not alone, but I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've put together a team to help distressed homeowners like you. Give us a call. We give everyone who's eligible a free consultation. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
Hi, my name is Ray McElroy, former Chicago Bears player and chaplain, and founder and CEO of the nonprofit Array of Hope on Earth. You know, running a successful nonprofit organization that serves at-risk, underserved youth in the inner city of Chicago presents its own set of challenges. I am so relieved that as a small, newer organization, we don't have to count our payroll and HR responsibilities as one of them because of the amazing service we receive from Precision Payroll of America. Not only do I appreciate the professional quality of Precision Payroll of America, but I also love that their values of faith, family, and fair and comprehensive service align perfectly with our own.
Thank you, Ray. For our great services, call me at 630-242-1507 or on the web at precisionpayroll.com. To support a great cause, check out arrayofhopeonearth.org.
Tom, you're the best, bro.
No, man, you're the best.
No, you're the best.
Oh, you the man.
No, for real, dog. You the man.
AM 560, The Answer.
I just got a text message from a friend asking why we're wearing these jackets and what's going on. We're the Bobbsey twins here.
The limited edition Scotch lady, Scott the Cow Guy from Fox Business, who's a regular guest on this show. He got us these limited edition cow trading jackets that he sports when he does his Fox Business hits and when he does his job. And look, this is Chicago haute couture right here.
Oh, exactly. We tweeted out a picture, and I'll retweet your tweet.
Yeah.
But it reeks. My eyes are burning. It reeks of cigar smoke.
You like it, don't you?
No, not so much.
Yeah.
So why is there Why was this dipped in a humidor?
No, it wasn't dipped. It was the transfer of these jackets to me from Scott occurred at a cigar joint.
Hey, let me guess. Was it Sean from Elmwood Park?
It was.
Cigar shop?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
did he put his little meat hooks on this?
No.
When I'm touching my stuff, don't touch my stuff.
I protected the chain of custody from Scott to me. That was inviolate. But yes, we did smoke a cigar and chat about the world after that because that's what refined gentlemen do on a Saturday afternoon.
I mean, seriously, my eyes are burning. You smell the smoke, right? The cigar smell? Do you smell it?
I love it. I love it. I'm like Pigpen. I just like a cloud of smoke around me wherever I go. It's a couple of things just in terms of
little housekeeping measures.
Well, left-wing hypocrisy. We got a couple of items here. I suppose we should start with Cedric Richmond. He's the Democrat, a member of Congress from Louisiana, who at a D.C. dinner over the weekend tried to make a funny about Kellyanne Conway.
And you can just explain to me that circumstance because she really looked kind of familiar in that position there.
And that was, her sitting on the couch. Kneeling on the couch.
She looked familiar in the position, kneeling.
Yeah, and the problem with that is, I mean, they complain that Trump is sexist and disrespectful and demeaning to women, and then he makes a comment like that. Saying this is a familiar position for her.
Yeah.
He was trying to make it funny, so...
And he went on to make reference to, not that I want to harken back to the 90s, clearly a Monica Lewinsky reference. He said it had nothing to do, there was no sexual innuendo. It wasn't intended to be crude or anything of the sort. And then, of course, today he apologized.
Oh, yeah, and his apology, you're going to love this. I'll get through the bull jive. You know, I understand my remarks have been received by many. I apologize to Kellyanne Conway and everyone who's found my comments offensive, but this is the best part. He explained his joke was panned from political figures on the right and left, and he initially attempted to explain his remarks, and this is what he said. He didn't mean for his words to sound crude. Where I grew up, saying that someone is looking or acting familiar simply means that they're behaving too comfortably. I decided to use that joke due to the large social media backlash over her inappropriate posture, considering there were more than 60 HBCU presidents in the room.
Right. She was taking pictures of them with the President of the United States. That's real inappropriate. Nice try, Cedric.
Nice try. Yeah,
and
but
also,
she was comfortable in that position. Okay.
Just a reminder, too, Startled Raccoon Face was on with Jake Tapper over the weekend, and she was asked about this as well. And, of course, she is so aghast at anything even raising the specter of misogyny coming from a Republican. But from Cedric Richmond, you know, she doesn't know. She wasn't at the dinner.
Shouldn't the congressman apologize to Kellyanne Conway? And honestly, where is the Democratic Party in expressing outrage about this?
But I wasn't at the dinner. I'm just finding out about this. But the fact is, I'm still in a sort of a state of what is going on here, that the person who occupies the White House is the person who was on that Hollywood video that said the crude things he said about women.
Yeah, nice trying to pivot there, Nancy Pelosi.
I think what he did, I mean, it's both crude behavior, but, I mean, come on. He should have never even have said it.
It was a joke in poor taste. We know what he was saying, so stop pretending. But it just shows you how situational the ethics of the left are, and you know a lot on the Republicans too. You know, if one of our guys does it, I shrug my shoulders. I come up with these ridiculous rationalizations like I wasn't physically present there, so I can't make a comment on something I wasn't physically present to witness.
But that's all she does is comment on things that she wasn't physically present for.
Of course. That's why it's absurd, and that's why it's embarrassing, and that's why it exposes her to be the vacuous hack that she is, and so many politicians are the same. If my guy does it, it's something I don't want to talk about it. If their guy does it, it's the end of Western civilization. You know, this is why people tune politicians out, because they're so disingenuous. Here's another example of that. Democrat super lobbyist Tony Podesta, he's the brother of one John Podesta, national campaign chairman for Hillary Clinton. Mm-hmm. You've read some of his emails.
Yes, I have.
He was paid $170,000 over a 6-month period last year to represent a bank, Russia's largest bank, as it turns out, seeking to end one of the Obama administration's economic sanctions against that country. So is that a problem that a high-powered lobbyist who happens to also be John Podesta's brother, who was Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, was lobbying the U.S. government on behalf of Russia's largest bank to withdraw American sanctions on Russia and to the benefit of that bank? I mean, if this was Paul Manafort, if Paul Manafort had done that, if Steve Bannon had done that, we'd have a Saturday Night Live skit. Will anybody take notice of this curious relationship? I mean, it just as they don't take notice of the Russian reset or Obama's hot mic moment with Medvedev. I mean, it's their concern about the Soviet bear reasserting himself in the form of the Trump administration is a little situational as well, isn't it? It really is. One other quick item, because you had the story yesterday about Babs saying that Trump is making her fat.
Oh, yeah. And then we were accused of fat shaming.
Correct. Yes. Right. Well, I'll see your Babs accusing Trump of making her fat, and I'll raise you a Crest Hill hooker who's blaming Trump for being arrested. A Chicago woman charged with prostitution following an undercover investigation of a massage parlor where she worked blamed her troubles on Trump. Crest Hill is over, by Joliet.
Yeah, right by Joliet, yeah.
The reason may be Trump, suggested Mickey Yee, who was arrested last month on a spa on Plainfield Road. She said that we didn't do nothing. We've got a lawyer and we're going to fight it. She was asked about her arrest, whether she shared Yee's feelings that Donald Trump's influence may have been a factor. She's another prostitute that was arrested said, I don't know, alleged. Yee, who says she came from Chicago, she came to Chicago from China, said, I'm a citizen, so I don't care. But somehow she blamed Trump because she had been doing this for a while and she was never arrested. Now Trump's president and she gets arrested. And
so she thinks it's
so Trump.
He's after minorities, even in the prostitution world. Well, prostitution is not legal in Illinois.
That certainly would cut against his Russian dossier, wouldn't it?
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Gatto Industrial Platers, Inc. is the specialist in zinc and zinc nickel plating. Gatto is big, they're good, and they're easy to work with. Their high production rack plating line has up to a 15-foot capacity to handle any zinc plating requirement. Gatto's 210,000 square foot facility can process 300 tons per day and offers complete custom packaging with available pickup and delivery in the Chicago metro area by Gatto's own fleet of trucks. All of Gatto's products are inspected and certified to ensure that each customer is receiving the best and most cost-effective plating protection. Gatto is home to King Kong, the largest zinc plating line in North America that can zinc plate parts up to 27 feet long and weighing up to 8,000 pounds. For a quote and fast 24 to 48-hour service, call George Gatto Jr. or George Gatto Sr. at 1-800-290-1223. That's 1-800-290-1223. 1-800-290-1223.
Hey, if you're looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, then you need to call David Hochberg, Vice President of Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're purchasing a home within the next year, this vital information will help you secure the lowest interest rate. It's your credit score. It is the most important factor in determining your interest rate and monthly payments. David strongly advises you to contact him as far in advance as possible so he can pre-qualify you for free. David will analyze your credit and make recommendations to improve your credit scores so you can secure the lowest rate when purchasing that home. Now, if you're purchasing a home within the next 12 months, call David now. 312-751-1333 and get pre-qualified for free. Paying banks or other lenders a fee to get pre-qualified is ridiculous. If you're purchasing a home, then call David now. 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee, 4358 NMLS 19186. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Expert analysis of the Republicans' Obamacare repeal proposal from C. Stephen Tucker at 6:36.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, teams assessing damage after storms and at least 2 tornadoes tore through Kansas City and the suburbs overnight. Round of storms raked Illinois, triggering several tornado watches and other severe weather warnings. Top wind gusts locally, 70 miles an hour in Shorewood, quarter-sized hail, and 62-mile-an-hour winds in DeKalb. There's plenty of power out this morning. Americans are getting their first glimpse of what might replace current health care coverage under the Affordable Care Act. It's being repealed and replaced. House Republicans have unveiled their proposal to replace Obamacare. Travelers at the Colorado Springs airport this morning say they don't have a problem with the new TSA pat-down procedure.
I would rather go through that than the worst.
I think it's necessary, and to an extent. I think there's a fine line between boundaries and privacy and being safe.
The TSA is trying out the new procedure in Colorado Springs. It includes using the back of the hand in sensitive areas. It's designed to determine that a threat does not exist. The federal agency also says the new pat-downs are being done because more handguns are being found in carry-on luggage. There's another case of confirmed mumps in Barrington. Lake County Health Department said yesterday a person living in the northwest suburb has contracted the viral infection. 2 other confirmed cases announced last week involved students at Barrington High. Chicago police are investigating after a woman was found dead and a man in critical condition following a shooting on Chicago's southwest side. Chicago sports last night. Pistons put away the Bulls 109-95. Eastern Michigan knocks Northern Illinois out of the MAC basketball tournament. Cubs outslugged the Angels. White Sox lost to the Padres in Cactus League play. The news service of Liberty Mutual, from news to weather to traffic, everything in between. You have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance should not be one of them. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager believes Israel is in a unique position in more ways than one.
The anti-Israel hatred at the UN is unique. More resolutions passed against Israel than against all other entities combined in the Middle East. Israel is supposed to make peace with people who want it destroyed. It's not something. What exactly do we talk about?
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Are you hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. Post your next job opening on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I went from being able to work 14, 16 hours a day with no problem to where I could barely walk a block to the store. I went on to the phytonutrients about 6 months ago, and within a couple of months, my medical doctor had cut my prescriptions down in a little bit smaller dosage. The next time I went back a month later, I walked into the doctor's office and he says, "My gosh, what's happened to you? You don't even look like the same person." He looked at my legs and the swelling had gone down. My blood pressure was down. The venous stasis ulcers that I had had on my legs for the last 4 or 5 years because of the poor circulation were all healed, and I'm feeling far better.
The new challenge will allow you to receive 2 months of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies free. And we'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
6:37 and a check of the roads. Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center time. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Inbound Eden's delay start around Niles Center Road. It's 24 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 20. Kennedy, 32 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 26. Eisenhower, 53 minutes, Thorndale to the post office, 40 from Manheim, outbound 31 to Thorndale. Northbound 83, the ramp to the inbound Stevenson is blocked right now with a crash. Delays are from 53 to 83 on the inbound Stevenson. Then they resume again at Harlem. It's 50 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 35. Ryan, 24 minutes, 95th to downtown. Spot Adams Tollway slow from the Tri-State to the Kennedy. Traffic is a service of Westin Hotels and Resorts. Westin knows how disruptive travel can be to your well-being, but with rejuvenating heavenly beds, a nutritious Superfoods RX menu, and gear lending for when you leave your workout gear at home, Westin will help you stay in control and rise above it all. Westin, let's rise. Learn more at westin.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the aircomfort.com Weather Center. Windy, mild, plenty of sunshine, high 54. Clear and breezy, low 37 overnight. It's cooling off dramatically right now. 49 at O'Hare, 52 along the lakefront, and 46 in Aurora. And skies are beginning to clear. Next news at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
Your money. Find out how to keep more of it and live debt-free. Tonight on The Dave Ramsey Show, starting at 7 on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So Republicans rolled out their Obamacare Replace yesterday. The American Health Care Act, which, according to Kevin Brady, a Republican from California, and the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, said in an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, the American Health Care Act will rescue those hurt by Obamacare's failures and lay the groundwork for a patient-centered health care system, preserves and protects insurance for more than 150 million Americans who receive employer-sponsored health coverage, provides Obamacare enrollees with access to existing financial support for their plans through the end of 2019. So there's a transition period, if you will, on some of the key favored features of Obamacare among the general public. It allows kids to stay on their parents' health insurance till age 26. Kids, 26.
Even if they're married, you can stay on it, by the way.
Yeah, and also prohibits denial of coverage for persons with pre-existing conditions. Also, now on the other side, it repeals funding for Planned Parenthood. Also starts to repeal some of the taxes and penalties, including eliminating the individual and employer mandate penalties. So what's the net of all of this? A good replace to follow a repeal, or less optimal than desired? We get the answer to that question from our friend C. Stephen Tucker, Obamacare expert, health insurance policy and marketplace expert, and the founder of healthinsurancementors.com, which is a health insurance brokerage. C.S. Tucker, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning, Dan and Amy.
So give us your review of what has been proposed by congressional Republicans.
Well, as usual, there is good and there's also bad. The good, let's start with the good. The good is that the individual employer mandates are now gone. And that means that if you do not purchase health insurance in 2017, or if you did not have it in 2016, there will be no IRS penalty for not doing so. So that's good. The employer mandate for companies with 50 or more full-time employees, they have to purchase health insurance or pay stiff penalties. That is history. So that's good. So those are some of the good things. Keeping your kids on your plan to year 26, as you mentioned, that was the case in most states long before Obamacare, so that's nothing new. There's also going to be a much shorter open enrollment period, starting on November 1st and lasting only until December 15th. So 45 days only instead of the typical 60 to 90 days, as it has been since the end of 2013. And that's going to hopefully cut down on adverse selection because less people will be able to game the system. So that's a good thing. Another good thing is that there's going to have to be a continuous coverage requirement, which is piggybacking on 1996 HIPAA law. That law outlined how one could obtain health insurance coverage for pre-existing conditions, because you will still be able to get coverage for pre-existing conditions under the new Republican proposal. However, you will not be able to game the system quite as easily, and I'll expand on that in a minute, but you have to have continuous coverage, at least 12 months of prior continuous coverage in order to get coverage for pre-existing conditions, and you can't have a lapse in coverage of more than 63 days. So very similar to what HIPAA law required, which was 18 months in the past. So that's good.
So
However,
okay, go on.
However, the first open enrollment period starting November 1st, the new shortened version of 45 days, you will not need that continuous coverage. So you could conceivably go without coverage this entire year, not face a penalty, and then purchase coverage without an additional surcharge during the first initial open enrollment period. As years go on, if you decide not to maintain insurance coverage, the insurance company can penalize you by charging you up to 30% more than someone who had maintained continuous coverage.
Right,
and
so the mandate's gone.
concern.
Right, but the mandate's gone, but if you let your insurance lapse, the premium can go up 30%. So it's essentially a hidden mandate, right?
It's not really a hidden mandate. It's just a way of ensuring that people are not able to game the system quite as easily. And there was my concern. Here comes the bad. Okay. Dr. Price's bill, which was what I hoped would be the actual proposal, would penalize people up to 150% more if they decided to game the system by not keeping continuous coverage and just jumping on when they get sick. Now it's only 30% more. Furthermore, you can purchase any kind of coverage going forward. So if you wanted to get, for example, a very cheap, catastrophic, or even a temporary health insurance plan, that could count as continuous coverage. And then, of course, when you get sick, you could double down and pay the extra 30% only surcharge, and the insurance company would have to pay all of your claims. So this could lead to a different form of adverse risk and, a death spiral, which is what we're always worried about in the insurance industry. So I don't know that penalty of 30% only for those who decide to game the system and not keep continuous coverage is going to be strong enough to re-incentivize the insurance companies to come back into the individual health insurance market because, as you know, we have lost almost all of them. We have 3 left catering to the individual market in Illinois, and states like Arizona, they have 1 left. So I'm very concerned that it's not going to incentivize the insurance companies to come back, and we need them desperately to come back into the individual market.
Speaking of incentives, you've got included in this proposal is an expansion of HSAs, health savings accounts, doubling the amount of money people can contribute to their HSA, broadening how people can use it. That's a good thing, putting essentially a consumer choice, consumer power, and the resources to make your own spend decisions. But then the issue that has received some criticism on the Hill by Rand Paul and others, a monthly tax credit between $2,000 and $14,000 a year for low and middle income individuals who don't receive insurance through an employer or a government program. Assess those 2 pieces of the proposal.
Well, originally it was not going to be advanceable. And that was a major concern for people who are used to getting these advanced premium tax credits under Obamacare. It was going to be basically you wait till you file your taxes and then you get, a refundable tax credit, which would be very difficult for people to pay these high Obamacare premiums without that advanceable credit. So now they're going to be getting an advanceable credit. So it's $2,000 for those under 30, $2,500 between 30 and 40, $3,000 a year for 40 and 50-year-olds, $3,500 for 50 and 60-year-olds, and $4,000 a year for those over 60. So that's going to help people in these income brackets of $75,000 or less, or $150,000 or less, for a couple filing jointly to be able to obtain those tax credits. The problem is because we're trying to do this via the reconciliation process, it takes an act of Congress in order to repeal all of the insurance mandates that have been placed on insurance companies under Obamacare. And so much of those insurance mandates are still going to stay in place, including the 10 essential health benefits. So because the cost of health insurance is going to remain largely the same, it's going to be very difficult for a lot of people to be able to afford these health insurance premiums going forward, even with these refundable tax credits.
And will the tax credits be phased out over time?
No, they're going to stay there, and they're going to be, everything goes by the CPI Consumer Price Index, so they're going to be adjusted accordingly, by inflation as the years go forward. So that's going to be there for everybody who qualifies. My concern is, with all of these programs, is that people on Medicaid, for example, are subsidized roughly about $6,000 a year. Okay, so if they end up no longer qualifying for Medicaid because their income slides up just slightly above the amount, then the amount of eligible tax credit they can get is $2,000 a year for those people under age 30. So that's a huge cut in the amount of quote-unquote subsidy that they're getting to pay for health insurance. So then, once again, it incentivizes those people in the Medicaid population to no longer want to earn any more money because they're going to lose $4,000 worth of a subsidy pertaining to health care. So, again, this is the same kind of problem we had under Obamacare. Yes, this is far better than Obamacare, and yes, we should take this proposal or whatever form comes out of the Senate as an alternative, because it repeals a lot of the most onerous provisions of Obamacare. But it is not what I and most conservatives were asking for. We were asking for a full repeal of Obamacare, including all of the onerous mandates on health insurance. And unfortunately, many of those still exist.
Yeah, and the Medicaid expansion under Obamacare that's being rolled back is really important, particularly for states like Illinois, because as the federal government's share of that burden declines over time as conceived by Obamacare, this becomes an even bigger budget buster than it already is for states. I mean, in Illinois, there's been some 650,000 people that have signed up under that Obamacare Medicaid expansion, and we couldn't afford to finance our Medicaid system prior to the Obamacare Medicaid expansion, much less since.
That's exactly right, and it doesn't do it right away. It's all the way until 2020 before the Medicaid expansion is starting to be scaled down. I wanted it repealed right away. Another thing I'm disappointed about, but it does give states more leverage as to how to spend their Medicaid dollars. So I'm in support of that because, as you know, in the state of Illinois, one of the most immoral parts of Obamacare is the fact that they allowed Medicaid to anyone with a pulse who happens to fall below $16,248. Traditionally, it was for single mothers, children of the poor, those who are developmentally disabled. And now it's to anyone with a pulse. So if you're, it robs those finite resources from those who cannot help themselves. And I find that to be entirely immoral. So hopefully allowing the states the ability to spend that Medicaid dollars the way they see fit will hopefully free up that money that's supposed to be there for those who truly need it.
Something that Trump mentioned in his address to Congress last week, and Republicans have made a part of their theoretical Obamacare replace, is the ability to sell health insurance plans across state lines.
Yeah.
And
that strangely is missing.
Yeah, it's missing, and it's been criticized. It was criticized by respected individuals in this marketplace, the marketplace in which you're a respected individual as well, like Bob Lazuski, who said the idea of allowing plans to be sold across state lines is, about the dumbest reform that has ever been proposed. Why did he say that? Is it true? And why do you think the ability to sell plans across state lines was left out?
Well, it would be dumb, and I would caution against repeal of McCarran-Ferguson. McCarran-Ferguson is the 1945 Act that prevents that from happening. It would be stupid to just repeal it without a federally mandated set of benefits that health insurers have to cover. Because if they don't do that, then everyone's going to flock to the states that have the crappiest policies, the policies that provide the littlest amount of coverage, expose you to the highest amount of medical bills, and are the cheapest price, right? So everybody will flood over to a state that provides the cheapest coverage. Well, the cheapest coverage is not necessarily the best policy for you, especially if you become terminally ill. So there has to be a set of benefits that all insurance companies have to follow. And then if you do that, then the risk to the consumer is no longer there because it's going to be the same set of benefits no matter where you purchase it from. Then repeal McCarran-Ferguson and allow insurance companies to provide lower prices based on how they see fit to do so. Then you're fine, but you're not harming the consumer. That's my concern always, is the consumer being exposed to crappy policies which don't cover anything or not near enough.
All right. He is C. Stephen Tucker, healthinsurancementors.com. That's his health insurance brokerage. And As always, thank you for providing clarity and simplifying a very complicated topic. That's why you're the best in the business. C. Stephen Tucker, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Peter Navarro defending Trump foreign trade policy. Amazon agreeing to collect sales taxes on New Mexico purchases. And the Fed reporting on consumer credit today. Those stories next. Hi, folks. Are you an individual or business who owes at least $10,000 to the IRS? Are your wages being garnished? Has your bank account been levied? Do you have years of unfiled tax returns and you're losing sleep at night worrying about it all? Rapid Resolution Tax Group is a team of tax attorneys, enrolled agents, and tax professionals who have helped thousands of people with problems just like yours. They're accredited with a Better Business Bureau and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. If you qualify, Rapid Resolution Tax Group can work towards settling your tax debt for less, removing penalties and fees, and stopping levies and garnishments. They're not intimidated by the IRS, and they promise not to let the IRS intimidate you. Call the professionals at Rapid Resolution Tax Group. They're at 800-601-2929. 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929. White House trade advisor Peter Navarro rejecting the argument that the Trump administration plans to crack down on imported goods, saying that the claims that would only boost prices paid by consumers is utterly false. Navarro says reducing huge foreign trade deficits will spur economic growth and improve national security. Amazon has agreed to begin collecting tens of millions of dollars in taxes on purchases sent to addresses in New Mexico. That's the latest state to look for new ways to fill budget gaps by forcing online retailers to collect taxes. Economic reports released today include updates on chain store and discount outlet sales, international trade, and the Federal Reserve releasing a summary of outstanding consumer debt. An exciting day. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
And guess what? Donald Trump, by the way, President Trump, he tweeted out the American Health Care Act, Dan, on his POTUS account this morning, not on his real Donald Trump. Ooh. Hey, your company's IT partner should be more than just a place you call when you're having computer problems. Today, IT is beyond just hardware and software. IT is about a relationship between technology and the people who work with it, and that's where Turnkey IT is different. They're an IT company and the best people company. They help people use IT better. Now, people need help from computers, servers, to cloud-based systems. Cybersecurity is huge right now, and advanced phone systems. People also need, though, help finding out what's out there and how to implement exactly what you need, all with the support of an experienced team that resolves issues quickly. People remember the good experiences they receive when working with Turnkey IT. Shouldn't your business receive the same white glove treatment? See what other AM 560 listeners already know about Turnkey IT. They're local, reputable, compassionate, experienced. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro today. That's Turnkey IT. Just does IT better. Visit turnkey.pro right now. That's turnkey.pro.
Raj Shah, host of Secure Retirement Radio, Chicago's safe money specialist.
We are going to manage a portfolio to the extent where every single month you know and you feel confident that no matter what market it is, that you don't need to play the guessing game and time the market, because it's not timing the market, it's time in the market.
Tune in for Secure Retirement Radio with Raj Shah, Chicago's safe money specialist. Sunday mornings at 7 here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Michael Medved, and for well over a year, you've heard me talking about Relief Factor, the natural solution for people struggling with chronic pain like back, neck, shoulder, hip, knee, or general muscle aches and pains. Thousands of listeners have told us all about their amazing results in dramatically lowering or eliminating their pain. So I'm sending my personal friends and radio listeners to ReliefFactor.com to order the 3-week quick start for only $19.95. That's ReliefFactor.com.
Sometimes things don't turn out the way you expect them to, like Chicagoland weather.
It's so unpredictable. Should I wear shorts or do I need a winter coat?
I think the weather people just throw darts at a board and guess.
Oh, look, I got rain.
No matter what the weather throws at us, be ready. Smart businesses rely on Air Comfort to keep them and their customers warm or cool, depending on which way our weather turns. Air Comfort is one of the largest commercial and industrial service groups in the Chicago area, with dedicated factory-trained technicians that take a scientific approach to analyzing your system. They have comprehensive year-round preventative maintenance programs and emergency service, plus design, build, and install equipment for new construction and retrofits of existing mechanical systems. Now is a great time to call Air Comfort and schedule an analysis of your company's mechanical system by their certified award-winning engineering team. Call 708-345-1900 or visit aircomfort.com. Air Comfort, providing the right climate for business since 1935.
If you have pain, I hope you listen up. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You do not have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of the side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you could be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Some responses to our cow jackets.
Yeah.
I look like a Dalmatian pimp. That's what I got from one Raymond Barnett. Coming up, we'll talk to Doug Weed, presidential historian. That's at 7:07.
But first, here's Mike Scott.
Severe weather crosses the area overnight. Pistons beat the Bulls. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. President Trump is happy Republicans in Congress are moving forward repealing Obamacare. Tweeting a short time ago, our wonderful new health care bill is now out for review and negotiation. He again calls the current law a complete and total disaster. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, House Ways and Means Committee Republican Chairman Kevin Brady says the bill scraps the individual mandate and subsidies.
Give Americans the freedom to buy plans that they need.
The bill also provides tax breaks to help people buy insurance. Senator Rand Paul says it sounds like Obamacare light.
If you get back your own money, I'm fine with that. If you get back someone else's money, that's an entitlement program.
The measure could hit the House floor in a couple of weeks, then possibly proceed to the Senate before the Easter recess. Dave.
Rachel, Democrats oppose this. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi says the bill will make America sick again. Top Senate Democrat Chuck Schumer says it'll raise costs, reduce coverage.
And I suspect their plan will put the insurance companies back in charge.
President Trump also tweeted this morning 122 prisoners he calls vicious, set free from Guantanamo by the Obama administration, have returned to the battlefield without citing his source for the information. That's outside the White House last night, protesting President Trump's revised executive order temporarily restricting travel to the U.S. from 6 predominantly Muslim countries considered terror threats. The first order was blocked in court. The president's new national security advisor faces Senate questions in a private meeting today. That job does not require confirmation, but since H.R. McMaster chose to remain active duty military as an Army lieutenant general, he needs Senate approval to get a new assignment. Tornadoes ripped up the Kansas City area.
Quite a bit of damage, and fortunately, we're very, very thankful that nobody got hurt.
Smithville, Missouri Mayor Brian Fulmer, at least 10 people were hurt in Oak Grove, but not seriously. Dozens of homes were damaged. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Skies are clearing. We have 50 degrees. Winds west at 17 miles an hour. 7:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. Last night's severe weather triggered some tornado watches and other severe weather warnings. Top wind gusts in Shorewood at 70 mile an hour. Quarter-sized hail, 62 mile an hour winds reported in DeKalb, and power is out across the area. Another confirmed case of the mumps in Barrington. Lake County Health Department saying that a person living in that northwest suburb has contracted the viral infection. 2 other confirmed cases were announced last week involving students at Barrington High. Grammy-winning artist Chance the Rapper calling on Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner to use his executive power to try and better fund the Chicago public schools. The rapper himself donating $1 million to a foundation for the schools.
This isn't about posturing. This is about taking care of the kids. Everybody and their mama knows about what's going on in Chicago. It's constantly talked about, but we're about to enhance the conversation.
Rauner's administration circulated a memo Monday with options for recovering $215 million in pension relief that he vetoed last year. Rauner saying he wants long-term reforms, not short-form options. A woman is dead, a man in critical condition following a shooting on Chicago's South Side. Police say the victims were shot early this morning, sitting in a vehicle in the 1300 block of West 76th. The CTA making plans for its 70th birthday. The authority marking its October anniversary throughout this year, including tours, promotions, and a fleet of vintage trains and buses will also be unveiled. CTA buses and streetcars and trains began operating in Chicago under the CTA organization in 1947. At that time, bread cost 13 cents. Gas was a couple of pennies, and a couple of pennies more, and some new cars that year sold for $1,300. Pistons put away the Bulls last night, 109-95. Last night in the Big East Conference Tournament, women's action, number 17 DePaul topping St. John's in the semifinals, 59-41. The news service of Liberty Mutual, from weather to traffic, news, everything in between. You have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance should not be one of them. Leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Do you own or run a business in Illinois that succeeded in this challenging economic environment? If so, we want to hear about it. AM 560's Business Tour 2017, presented by Signature Bank, will be highlighting business success stories. Tell us your story and be a part of a live broadcast of Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy. Find out more and submit your information at 560theanswer.com/business. That's 560theanswer.com/business.
Check this out. Once again, MyPillow sweetened the deal. In addition to the Mike Lindell 4-pack special with 40% off 2 premium MyPillows plus 2 Go Anywhere MyPillows, you also get free shipping. In fact, you'll get free shipping off any order over $100. Remember, Mike Lindell invented MyPillow for everybody with pillow-related sleep issues. You can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need regardless of sleep position. You'll get into deep sleep faster and stay there longer. No waking up to a stiff neck or headache. They're manufactured in the U.S. and have a 10-year warranty. It's washable and dryable with a 60-day money-back guarantee. Again, for a limited time, you'll receive Mike Lindell's 4-pack special with 40% off plus free shipping. Call 1-800-489-0201 and be sure to use the promo code Amy to receive this unreal deal. If you've been putting off purchasing a MyPillow, it's time to finally start getting a great night's sleep. I do. Go to MyPillow.com or call 1-800-489-0201 and use the promo code Amy.
I know I need to earn my MBA if I want to move up. I'm looking for an MBA that offers unique concentrations. I want an online MBA that's top-ranked, established. I care about the school's reputation because I know my future employers will too.
Thinking about earning your MBA? At Northeastern's DeMoore McKim School of Business, we offer a 100% online MBA with 8 concentrations that can help set you apart in today's competitive workforce.
To speak to an enrollment advisor, text MANAGE to 37913.
Over 3 million businesses use Indeed.com for hiring, and independent research shows that 5 times more hires are made through Indeed than any other job site. By creating the easiest, most effective hiring experience, we help businesses find great new people every day. Right now, we're giving new users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job on the world's #1 job site. Claim your $50 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
7:07, let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Telemonti.
Thanks, Mike. Southside 76th is closed. Racine to Morgan with police activity. Eden's inbound delay start at Pratt. 27 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose up on 22. Kennedy, 43 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 23 from Montrose, 21 in the Express. Outbound 30 minutes downtown to O'Hare. Inbound Eisenhower is now an hour and 4 minutes Thorndale to the post office. 50 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 34 to Thorndale. Inbound Stevenson, the ramp from northbound 83 still closed with a rollover crash. It is a 53-minute drive, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 37. The Ryan, 29 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State delays are from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Veterans Memorial sluggish. Maple to the Reagan Tollway. Other tollways are good. Northwest Indiana, okay. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. From the aircomfort.com Weather Center, here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Windy and mild today with a full day of sunshine, high 54. Tonight, clear and breezy, low 37. Windy with a full day of sunshine again tomorrow, high 52. And at night becoming mostly cloudy with a low 29. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
50 at O'Hare, 51 at Midway, and 46 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560 on your mobile device. Now available on iHeartRadio. Online at iHeartRadio.com.
Good morning. Welcome to your Tuesday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
This order is part of our ongoing efforts to eliminate vulnerabilities that radical Islamist terrorists can and will exploit for destructive ends.
So with all due respect to the orders, I can't cross-examine anonymous sources. You can't even directly examine them. It's a lot easier to write a news piece than it is to conduct an investigation.
I am donating $1 million to CPS. I'm challenging major companies and corporations in Chicago and all across the U.S. to donate and to take action.
Let's go! This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. All right, we're going already.
Let's go!
That's great.
That's Northern Florida's basketball coach.
I like the energy.
For their big tournament. He was trying to pump up the team.
I like the energy. I like the energy from the Trump troika yesterday. Now, we have to use Russian vocabulary to advance the leftist conspiracy theories about the Trump administration. But the troika that rolled out and explained the revised immigration executive order, temporary travel ban. You heard at the top Rexon, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, Rexon as I have popularized him,
yes,
discussing the principle. And Rexon also offered a explicit message to allies and a distillation of the reason Iraq is no longer one of the countries listed, which is really important in this conversation. Here's Rexon to our allies.
To our allies and partners around the world, please understand this order is part of our ongoing efforts to eliminate vulnerabilities that radical Islamist terrorists can and will exploit for destructive ends.
So in overture to our allies, kind of the explanation to them or recognition of them, an important note to strike. In addition to that, why Iraq is removed and what it signals about the true temporary nature of the temporary travel ban with respect to the countries named, so long as they are able, in consultation and collaboration with America, to establish security protocols such that proper vetting can be done.
This intense review over the past month identified multiple security measures that the State Department and the government of Iraq will be implementing to achieve our shared objective of preventing those with criminal or terroristic intent from reaching the United States. I want to express my appreciation to Prime Minister al-Abadi of Iraq for his positive engagement and support for implementing these actions. The United States welcomes this kind of close cooperation with countries in every region of the world who share our commitment to national security.
So I don't know how to break it to the left. It's not a Muslim ban. It's not a religious test.
They're still banging that drum.
Oh, well, they'll bang the drum because that's all they can do is bang that drum. They're not interested in addressing the substance of this. But what you hear from Rexon about Iraq as a representative of the Trump administration is it's none of those things. It's about security. And once we're comfortable, our intelligence agencies are comfortable with the security protocols in place, then you're off the list. And Iraq is a good example of that. For more on this topic and others, we're pleased to be joined by presidential historian Doug Wead. He's also the author of a number of books, including a new one, Game of Thorns. You see what he did there?
Yeah, I like it.
The inside story of Hillary Clinton's failed campaign and Donald Trump's winning strategy. Let's talk the Lannister family. Doug Wead, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. What do we have, Doug? Hi, Doug. Hey, there we go. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. The very all courant with the Game of Thorns play on words there. So to start with the premise of your book, because it really talks about the Clinton campaign collapse, and you had access, including to Trump Tower, where apparently you were monitored by President Obama. I'm kidding. But you had access to Trump Tower and operatives in the space like few others for the purposes of this book.
And in the Clinton campaign, yeah. What a story! I think it's the greatest political story of our lifetime and maybe of American history. Hillary had outspent Trump 8-1 when you factor in the soft money. She built the largest super PAC in American history, funded by the major corporations in the United States, and spent it. 5-3, she outspent him in regular campaign funds. She outstaffed him 5-1. She had 249 newspaper endorsements. He had 19. She had a ground game of 960,000 volunteers. It was the largest ground game ever organized in history. It exceeded Barack Obama's ground game of 4 years before, which had held the record. She had academia. She had Hollywood. She had all of Wall Street. She had the banks. You talk about Russia. The Russians gave millions of dollars to the Clinton Foundation. She, in turn, helped them with uranium. She had China. China began funneling millions of dollars into the Clinton campaign in the 1990s. It sparked a controversy and a scandal called Chinagate. The FBI tried to arrest the participants. They had to refund money. The participants scattered, went back to China. One of them, Niglat Singh, showed up on the streets of New York in 2016 with suitcases full of cash in his hotel room. He was arrested by the FBI and is being held by the FBI right now. So a lot of the stories didn't get in the front page, and poor little old Donald Trump, he didn't have anything except $1 billion of earned media, and he won.
Well, Doug, talk about election night and your inside account of Clinton headquarters. What was going on, and when did she realize, oh, my gosh, I lost?
Yeah, I had three people on the ground there at the Peninsula Hotel, and the first one to tell me the story, I thought, I'm not going there. This is an invasion of privacy, and maybe this isn't true. And I have very strict attorneys at Hachette, my publisher. Then a second person who was there confirmed it. Finally, a third person. And then Ed Rendell, publicly, the governor of Pennsylvania, a Democrat, went on TV, said, I just left the Peninsula Hotel and Hillary is angry. He didn't say heartbroken. Or it confirmed all the other stories I heard. What I heard was that at the very moment, it was North Carolina, the numbers in North Carolina, not the calling of the state, that convinced them, oh my gosh, we've lost it. And there was anger and profanity and tears and smashing of glass, and it was apparently a very understandably disturbing moment.
Yeah, and that was just
so
Bill.
She didn't make her appearance.
What did you find out about the campaign from your research and your access to both camps that would surprise people about why it went down the way it went down?
The biggest surprise for me was the 27-year war with the FBI. That did not happen in a vacuum. Jim Comey just didn't wake up one day, said, okay, we're going to reopen this investigation. But that was ongoing. It involved FBI offices in California and Texas and Missouri and Arkansas and New York and Washington. And it involved very hot debate within the agency itself. Are we going to have separate rules for one people other than another? That was shocking to me. The other thing that was kind of
wait a second. Wait. The war with the FBI, 27-year war with the FBI. How do you mean there was like internal division within the FBI about Hillary Clinton, or there was antagonism because of history with the Clintons that existed in the FBI?
A little bit of both. When the Clintons came to power, they were used to using the state troopers of Arkansas as their palace guard, and they thought they could do the same with the Secret Service and the FBI. And the FBI resisted when they wanted to fire the employees of the travel department at the White House and replace them with a cousin and some operatives from Hollywood that had helped donate to their campaign so they could pick up lucrative contracts for charter airplanes. They fired them, and then retroactively they went to the FBI and say, okay, find something on these people. We're getting some media feedback. FBI says, no, wait a minute. You got to have just cause. We're not going to retroactively investigate these people to find something for you. The Clintons said, okay. They organized their own, they called it the White House Security Personnel Department. They put two of their own campaign officials in it, and they accessed all of the FBI files of their enemies and of the Republican operatives of the previous Reagan-Bush administrations. And all these files that J. Edgar Hoover used to sit on, they could now peruse bit by bit to see the sex life and the private issues that these political enemies had. Hillary appointed her best friend as director of the IRS. These people started getting audited by the IRS. It was quite a mess. And the point I'm making to you, this went on for 27 years, and the list of contentious issues and scandals with the FBI just is stunning. It goes on and on. It's the FALN terrorists that were set free as a gift, according to the New York Times, to Hillary's run for the Senate in New York. It's Mark Rich, who was on the top 10 most wanted list of the FBI and was pardoned when his wife gave money to the Clinton Presidential Library. It's a stunning story.
Now, real quickly, you mentioned the Bushes, and you said that in your book that there's collusion between some of the Bush family and their new pals, the Clintons. Can you explain?
Yeah, well, I've been very close to the Bush family. I actually served as an advisor to two of the Bush presidents and traveled with them extensively and know them. And they were estranged from the Clintons for a long time. And then that healed after the tsunami in the South Pacific. They became good buddies. And the Clintons came to the Bushes early in the campaign. And they said, hey, there's a silver bullet out there on Donald Trump, and it will rule him out as a candidate. So the Bushes went to work to find this silver bullet. Jeb Bush has outspent Trump 8-1. He had a magnificent opposition research team that involved detectives, that involved intelligence people. It was a massive operation. And they couldn't find the silver bullet, so they come back to the Clintons and they say, please, can you help me? And the Clintons by that time saw that Trump could be their opponent in the general election. And they said, no way, no way. They decided no. They would rather face Trump than Jeb Bush. So they betrayed each other.
Well, I'll tell you, the upshot of this is that the electorate and 60% of U.S. states made the right choice. That's what I take away from this conversation. He is Doug Weed. He's a presidential historian. He's the author of the new book, Game of Thorns, the inside story of Hillary Clinton's failed campaign and Donald Trump's winning strategy. And I look forward to the sequel when Hillary Clinton's their nominee again in 2020. Doug Weed, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Talk to you.
Thanks. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Who was calling Doug Weed during our interview? Today, you're going to have plenty of sunshine, but it is windy out there. A high of 54 degrees. Tonight, clear and breezy, a low of 37. And for tomorrow, it's going to be windy with plenty of sunshine yet again. A high of 52 degrees. Any high travel times? Let's get the latest from Jim Telemonte, who's in charge of our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Well, Amy, the numbers are going up. Inbound Kennedy now. Stop and go Harlem to the Burn Circle, 52 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 28 from Montrose, 26 in the Express. Outbound 32 minutes to the airport. The Edens, 25 minutes, Lake Cook Junction. Outbound 24, the Eisenhower, 58 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. Outbound 38. Stevenson, 59 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Very heavy, 126 to be 453 with a crash on the right shoulder. Now the ramp from northbound 83. The inbound Stevenson still blocked with a rollover crash. The Ryan is 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, heavy around Fullerton and approaching Lakeshore Drive. Northbound Tri-State delays, Archer to the Hinsdale Oasis. Then from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, Veterans Memorials, those 75th to the Reagan Tollway. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
The website upstream-ideas.com complements what we do on this show each morning with premium content, long-form interviews with opinion leaders and policymakers. Jim Urio from CNBC is this week's Against the Current feature. 60-second commentaries from me this week. I tackle Picking Up Our Wounded on the Battlefield, podcast of our Illinois Rising program, which covers state policy and politics in conjunction with the Illinois Policy Institute. 2-minute warnings, dollars and cents. Follow the Logic Man on the Street segments. It's all at upstream-ideas.com.
I own a fast food restaurant that was broken into early this morning. They tore the alarm panel right off the wall, and Alarm Detection Systems came in the same day to replace it.
Same-day service is available to all of our customers. Never worry about your security system. Get to know Alarm Detection Systems. ADS is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. Alarm license number 127000143.
I'm living alone for the first time in 40 years, and I'm worried something might happen to me.
Live independently with a medical alert device from Alarm Detection Systems. Setup is easy, and 24/7 emergency assistance monitoring is included. Alarm Detection Systems is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. Alarm license number 127000143.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher & Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher & Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher & Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at kelleherbuckley.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, so Dr. Ben Carson, you know, he's the HUD secretary.
Yes, I do.
The topic du jour yesterday when addressing HUD staff was the issue of immigration. And Dr. Carson held forth on the issue of immigration, but maybe was a little Trumpian, being imprecise with his lingo when he offered this comparison.
That's what America is about. A land of dreams and opportunity. There were other immigrants who came here in the bottom of slave ships, worked even longer, even harder for less. But they too had a dream that one day their sons, daughters, grandsons, granddaughters, great-grandsons, great-granddaughters might pursue prosperity and happiness in this land.
I think they had a dream of going back home, but
here's the issue. I appreciate what I think Ben Carson is trying to go, but slaves taken forcibly from their homes and transported to this country, not the same as people voluntarily trying to come to this country.
Yeah, I was put off. I mean,
Pretty
when he
clear.
referred to slaves as immigrants.
They're not right. They were, yes. People coming to this country are not, or attempting to come to this country, are not being treated inhumanely as a matter of course. Obviously, by definition, anybody put in shackles and transported anywhere they don't want to go is being treated inhumanely. So just a poor choice of words from Dr. Ben on the topic. I wish we could get past the efforts to be so sentimental about this issue and just be real clear about it. I mean, just make those distinctions that we've talked about on this show. The difference between people who want to come here to be peaceful and productive, add value for themselves and by extension to the country. Mm-hmm. That's what we want. And it doesn't matter country of origin so much because every country under the sun is represented by an American citizen. So that's really the issue. And I think a lot of this other silly rhetoric and overheated rhetoric and leftist demagoguery could just kind of dissipate away. And wouldn't that be nice?
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Point Blank Range and Gun Shop provides a clean and safe indoor shooting range and retail store. At Point Blank, associates focus on customer needs, whether they're an expert or new to shooting. That's why people are talking about Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable too.
Point Blank Range and Gun Shop. Experience the difference. ShootPointBlank.com for more information.
The following is a paid political announcement. Instead of fixing the budget crisis and helping struggling families, Illinois politicians want the government to provide free abortions through Medicaid for all 9 months of pregnancy and for any reason. This would include free abortions on unborn children that can feel pain or survive outside the womb. And who will be paying for this? The already heavily burdened Illinois citizens. Why isn't Governor Rauner opposing this bill? Call him right now and tell him to oppose House Bill 40, paid for by Illinois Right to Life.
Calling all business owners. Are you running your business without being incorporated? If you answered yes, you are now eligible to incorporate in just 10 minutes. It's a quick incorporation event from Incorporate.com, designed to save small business owners from the risk of losing everything. Just call this number for your free 10-minute incorporation guide, 1-800-300-5124. If you're not incorporated, it's not just your business that can be sued. It's you, too, which means you could lose everything. Your home, your car, even your life savings. That's why small business owners across the country are now scrambling to incorporate during this event. Call now for your free 10-minute incorporation guide while supplies last. 1-800-300-5124. Incorporate.com doesn't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. But hurry and call now while they're still giving these 10-minute incorporation guides away for free. Call 1-800-300-5124. That's 1-800-300-5124.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Don't look now, but the Democrats' Russia hacked the election narrative is falling apart. We'll discuss with James Kallstrom, former assistant director of the FBI, at 7:37.
And later, why Dan Proft should like soccer a little bit more than he did yesterday. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Well, of course you should. But we'll get to that later. Outside, we have clearing skies and 50 degrees. President Donald Trump's choice for National Security Advisor makes an unusual appearance on Capitol Hill this morning. Lieutenant General H.R. McMaster does not need Senate confirmation because he's decided to remain on active duty. His new assignment, though, will have to be approved because of his rank. The international dispute over the killing of the half-brother of North Korea's leader is escalating this morning. Pyongyang and Malaysia now preventing one another's citizens from leaving either country. One scholar and longtime diplomat saying this morning the mutual actions are way out of normal diplomatic practice. House Republicans taking their first crack at repealing and replacing Obamacare. They've revealed their own plan, which will be considered by 2 House committees beginning tomorrow. Budget Director Nick Mulvaney is walking up that bill to the House.
One of these, what everyone seems to want to call a death spiral. Democrats even admit that the program is not working. So I don't think it's fair to want to compare what we're proposing today to what Obamacare might have been. You have to compare it to what Obamacare is.
The former Democratic Governor Howard Dean, a medical physician himself, says there are some issues with the House Republicans' plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. A search in the French Alps has ended with an avalanche that struck a resort. Officials now determining there were no casualties. An official with the regional prefecture said after a couple of hours of searching at the teen resort, the operation was called off. Everyone was saved. Another round of storms raking Illinois last night, triggering tornado watches and several other severe weather warnings. Top local wind gust of about 70 miles an hour in Shorewood. There are power outages this morning. Pistons beat the Bulls last night, 109-95. Blackhawks back in action on Thursday against the Ducks. And the news, a service of Positive Coaching Alliance. If you're involved in youth or high school sports, you need to know about Positive Coaching Alliance. PCA is a national nonprofit organization developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. For more information, visit positivecoach.org. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager believes Israel is in a unique position in more ways than one.
The anti-Israel hatred at the UN is unique. More resolutions passed against Israel than against all other entities combined in the Middle East. Israel is supposed to make peace with people who want it destroyed. It's not something. What exactly do we talk about?
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm telling you right now, it's awesome. I was trying to get my blood pressure regulated, okay? And like after 3 days of taking this thing, my blood pressure went back down to normal. I am ecstatic. I am so happy with this stuff. It is my savior.
This was the first summer that I have not had to have a steroid shot to help me to breathe.
The reason why I'm taking it because I've got Hep C. Once I began taking your stuff, it took a few months, but believe it or not, my liver enzymes are way down and it's normal now. It works.
The new challenge will allow you to receive 2 months of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies free. And we'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
It's the most effective product that I've ever bought in my life, but I should have ordered it like 15 years ago.
Hi, I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, and I help business owners, 1099 employees, and those with unfiled tax returns solve their IRS problems. And I'm also the host of the IRS Radio Hour.
And I'm Jim Leahy, the co-host of the IRS Radio Hour, heard right here every Sunday evening at 5 on AM 560.
The Answer. I know you want a local attorney you can look in the eye and hold accountable for solving your IRS problem, not some big box outfit without a Chicago connection. So today we have a special offer, a good night's sleep.
A good night's sleep? Are you trying to give away a pillow?
Great guess, Jim. But no, I want to help people solve the problems that are keeping them up at night. If you fear the IRS will take away your money, freeze your bank account, garnish your wages, visit your home or job, and now they can take away your passport, you need to hire me to solve your IRS problem for good.
Call attorney Stephen Leahy, your Chicago IRS answer man at 312-664-6649, 312-664-6649, and get the IRS out of your business and your life for good.
7:36. Let's check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Like the inbound Kennedy is heavy now, an hour and 8 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 40 minutes from Montrose, 37 in the Express, outbound 33 to O'Hare. Eden's 23 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 27. The Eisenhower, an hour, Thorndale to downtown, outbound 46 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 6 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38 minutes. Minus 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. North on Tri-State Heavy Archer to the Hinsdale Oasis. Then from Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Veterans Memorial slow. Out until the Reagan Tollway. Traffic is a service. Burger King breakfast. What's the best place to have your breakfast? How about on a warm croissant? Right now at Burger King, get 2 croissant breakfast sandwiches for just $4. A light flaky croissant piled high with savory sausage or delicious thick-cut smoked bacon. 2 croissant for $4 only at Burger King. Price and participation vary. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business sense. 1935, windy and mild, plenty of sunshine. We'll top out at 54. Currently 50 at O'Hare. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, you're trying to bring some sanity to these conversations and focus on people who know of what they speak and have a proven track record on such topics. Like we talk to and use material that Andy McCarthy puts together from NRO, former federal prosecutor, because he brings law and reason and clarity to these hyperbolic allegations that are bandied about. Another individual who does that is Trey Gowdy, congressman from South Carolina and a former prosecutor himself, who spoke with Bill Hemmer on Fox News yesterday about the dueling allegations about the Russia hacked the election left narrative, as well as Trump's allegation about Obama wiretapping.
But what do you think about his comment about the amount of information, the quality of evidence, et cetera?
I think Congress is much better equipped to do investigations than journalists are. We can't rely on anonymous sources. We can't rely on leaked information, classified information, which in and of itself is a crime. So with all due respect to the reporters, I can't cross-examine anonymous sources. You can't even directly examine them. It's a lot easier to write a news piece than it is to conduct an investigation. What Congress needs is access to the witnesses, access to the documents, and to understand we don't run parallel criminal investigations. We have a job to do, but it is not to investigate crime.
Have you seen evidence that the Obama team did surveillance at Trump Tower?
No, sir.
Have you seen evidence that the Trump team colluded with the Russians during the election last year?
No, sir. And reports to the contrary have been described as demonstrably false to me by people who would know.
Well, the organization that does investigate crime, one of them is the FBI, and we're pleased to be joined by James Kallstrom, who's a former assistant director of the FBI, to talk more about this. James, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So what about Jim Comey's reported call over the weekend for the Department of Justice to publicly repudiate Trump's claim that there was surveillance of some sort going on at Trump Tower during the campaign?
Well, why that would be in the public domain is beyond me. This whole thing is farcical in my view. Here you've got the New York Times and others reporting so-called information from multiple people in the intelligence community talking about wiretaps, talking about the content of transcripts in the case of General Flynn and others. And yet, the director of national intelligence was on television yesterday saying that there was, to his knowledge, and that he would be in a position to have knowledge, there were no FISA authorizations. And I believe that, quite frankly, because knowing how that works and how tough it is to provide the probable cause necessary, even to electronic surveillance on foreign adversaries, when you throw in the fact that American citizens are involved here, that is a huge problem. in types of wiretaps like that if they're actually existing, and they have to be minimized immediately, and there have to be reports written. And I mean, everybody takes it extremely serious.
Well. What about?
I mean,
I'm sorry.
My view at this point is that everything that was in the New York Times is bogus.
Okay,
You know,
well that wouldn't
and-
be novel, but what about the reports, and not just limited to the New York Times, about the Obama Department of Justice seeking and obtaining a FISA order in October?
I just don't know if that's true. I mean, it could very well be. Would I be surprised if the Obama administration was involved in this whole situation? No, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Did the president, use his executive power to have a wiretap without the Department of Justice involvement or the FBI? Boy, that would be really something. I mean, that would be a really news event in the future history books of the United States. But there's no question, in my view, there's a fifth column in the United States that includes, a lot of the operatives that were in the Obama administration, the DNC, the places like the New York Times and major print and broadcast media. And, they want to have a 360 circle around President Trump and not allow him to do anything. If you looked at some of the federal statutes on sedition, I mean, we have a lot of the elements of it right now. And it's really tragic, and it's just a pack of lies in most cases. And, did the FBI have some investigation on particular Russians? I mean, sure, possibly all the time. Were they listening in on the Trump organization and operatives? Quite frankly, I find that probably not plausible.
Well, think about the Obama Department of Justice. I mean, they targeted James Rosens of Fox News as a possible criminal co-conspirator. They seized phone records of AP reporters and the editors in 2013. And then the IRS under Barack Obama systematically targeted the president's political opponents. So knowing their past, to me, it seems feasible that they could have wiretapped Trump Tower. Or am I just...
I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more. But, is there, if it was done through the legal processes, which are, between you and I, are very difficult, even in the Title III world, you got to have actual facts. You've got to have multiple page affidavits that allow the government to invade the privacy of these things. And, the Obama administration, pushed the Justice Department or pushed the FBI to write such affidavits. Boy, I don't know where they'd come up with that information that would convince a FISA judge, quite frankly, because I think the whole story is a straw man. This whole Russian thing is a bunch of BS. Was Paul Manafort involved somehow in the Ukraine? Probably. I mean, but was there some strategy, aided by the Russians to help Trump win the election? I think that's nonsense.
Yeah. So let me go back to something you referenced before. You talked about a fifth column action. So are you suggesting that there is the so-called deep state, elements within the deep state that are seeking purposely to undermine this president, and that's what a lot of these straw man stories, as you say, and leaks are about?
I think absolutely, and I think it's been planned, before Mr. Trump took office, and I think a lot of these operatives. I mean, if you just looked at the John Podesta emails, which I don't even think that came from Russia, quite frankly. I think that was somebody a deep throat inside the DNC. But in any case, if you look at that and you look at the criminality, and you look at the just the nonchalant ability to pay people to disrupt and cause fights, and they basically, in my view, they have roving gangs of thugs that they pay, that have a very nasty effect. Now, could people be following people around in this day and age? I mean, you can wiretap without a court order. Of course, it's illegal. I mean, you can follow people and monitor their cell phones quite easily with a couple $100 on Radio Shack. I mean, you can do all kinds of things like that. So who knows? But I wouldn't put any of that past this band of liars and corrupt people that we're dealing with now.
Well, how did these bands that you're talking about? I mean, you're a former assistant director of the FBI. How did they take root in the intelligence community, and where is Jim Comey and the FBI to root them out if this is true?
Well, that's the question. I think from my view, and I'm not there now, so my observations basically are based on things that I read and people that I talk to. First off, this is not the run-a-day brick FBI agent or CIA agent or the Patriots at NSA. These if they exist, and they apparently exist according to the New York Times, unless the New York Times is just at the point of absolutely fabricating total lies daily. I mean, they talk about over and over again these 5 or 6 people that are talking to them that have knowledge. Do they exist or are they phony? I don't know. But I know there's a lot of politicalization with the agency, with John Brennan, very political guy.
Mm-hmm.
Others there that I won't name. I can't imagine that the NSA would be doing stuff like that. Why did Obama, a week before he left office, modify an executive order to allow NSA to disseminate some of the most sensitive, highly classified information in the United States to 16 other agents? I mean, for one reason, in my view, and that's to have the people that are there, have the ability to leak information and have access to it.
Yeah, because the more people you tell, the greater chance you have of a leak. Do you think FBI Director Comey is doing the right thing? Should he come out and talk to the American people or just remain silent?
I don't understand. I know Jim Comey very well, and I've been critical of him in the past with the lack of process in the Hillary Clinton matter and the Clinton Foundation. But I think he's basically an honest guy, and I can't see him being part of that cabal. However, things the FBI does, always with a court order. I mean, I'd be flabbergasted if someone in the FBI was actually conducting something that wasn't authorized. So I feel very confident that anything like that takes place. Jim Comey then has somewhat of an obligation to report certain things to the Attorney General, to the National Security Council, so if it actually did happen, if the Bureau was involved somehow, there's no question that some of that stuff would have been disseminated. But it's so highly political. It's almost beyond belief that anything legally could take place like that.
He is James Kallstrom, former Assistant Director of the FBI. James, thanks very much for joining us and sharing your insights. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And he joined us on our Turnkey.pro answer line.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Ooh. No, I don't know. All right, today plenty of sunshine, but plenty of wind. Gusts up to 20 miles per hour at times. A high of 54 degrees. Tonight clear and breezy, low of 37. And tomorrow the wind remains, but so does the sun. A little bit cooler, a high of 52. Anything good on the roadways? Let's get into our alarm detection systems. Traffic Center, here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dad. I think we're at the peak of the rush now. And on northbound 83, the ramp to the inbound Stevenson remains blocked. It has been much of the morning due to a rollover truck crash. And the Stevenson is fairly heavy. An hour and 5 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, 53 minutes from the Tri-State. Outbound 41 minutes, 3:55. Edens, 23 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 29. The Kennedy's brutal. An hour and 20 minutes from O'Hare to downtown. It's 47 minutes from Montrose and 35 in the Express. Outbound 36 to the airport. Eisenhower, an hour and 15 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, 58 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 49 to Thorndale. Bryan, 33 minutes, 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive, slow southbound Lawrence to North Avenue, and 18th for the Stevenson. Tri-State southbound, heavy now, 122 Plain. Northbound delays are in pockets, 111th to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hi, have you ever wanted to send your child to a private school but thought, you know what, I just can't afford it? Well, if that's you, listen up. We want to tell you about and remind you about halfpriceschools.com. At halfpriceschools.com, you can find a local private school from all over the Chicagoland area, even Northwest Indiana, that are offering vouchers for a full year of tuition at half the price. There's no catch. It's simple. Go on to the website, halfpriceschools.com. Click a location that is near you and purchase the tuition voucher. Make private schools affordable for your family for the first time this year. But as always, these vouchers will sell out. There's private schools in South Holland, Arlington Heights, Chicago, Antioch, Shanahan, Kankakee, Oak Lawn, just to name a few. So make private schools a real option for you and your family for the first time, but you have to act quickly. Go to halfpriceschools.com. That's halfpriceschools.com.
What's the scariest thing about going to the dentist? Opening your mouth or opening your wallet? Because just a simple cleaning can cost $100, and things like root canals can cost you hundreds more. If you don't have dental insurance to help, you should give Physicians Mutual Insurance Company a call. 1-800-500-0898. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps pay for checkups right away. So you can call today and get your teeth cleaned tomorrow. Plus, it helps cover the more expensive procedures you might need down the road. Fillings, crowns, bridges, even costly dentures. There's no deductible and no annual maximum. Your acceptance is guaranteed for one of these insurance policies, even if you're retired or on Medicare. There are no networks, so you can choose any dentist you'd like. That's right, any dentist you want. Call and we'll rush you a free information kit with all the details. 1-800-500-0898. That's 1-800-500-0898. 1-800-500-0898.
Fruits and vegetables are one of the very best, if not the best way to help protect your body from many of the lifestyle diseases plaguing our nation. Eating over 10 servings of fruits and vegetables daily will help build your immune system to over 720% and is the single most important thing you can do for your health, along with diet and exercise. Why are fruits and vegetables such a powerful health consideration? Because they contain tens of thousands of phytonutrients prepared especially by Mother Nature to nourish our body on a cellular level. Dr. Howard successfully formulated and perfected a mix of 31 different fruits and vegetables and scientifically removed the water and air through a proprietary cold vacuum system, reducing them into a super powder which maintains 99.9% of its nutrient value, then packaging them into vegetarian capsules ready for consumption. Here's Dr. Howard.
What does good nutrition not benefit? Can you name anything that good nutrition will not help? It's not a cure-all. The scope of what it can help is so wide because our bodies are really fabulous, amazing chemical laboratories. Everything that functions in your system is a chemical response. Keeping that chemistry in balance and keeping the cells communicating with each other the very best possible way is absolutely the best way to reduce your risk of disease and also help your body help itself even fighting most of these diseases.
Balance of Nature is celebrating its 20th anniversary by providing you the best offer they've ever given. 2 free months of fruits and veggies and free shipping. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spaveri, CEO of Spaveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation, family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Spaveri's is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Dennis Prager believes Israel is in a unique position in more ways than one.
The anti-Israel hatred at the UN is unique. More resolutions passed against Israel than against all other entities combined in the Middle East. Israel is supposed to make peace with people who want it destroyed. It's not something. What exactly do we talk about?
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Change in the market shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. In fact, since World War II, we've seen a correction on average about once every 18 months. That's why Arlington Capital Management developed proprietary tools that help them to see what's beyond your investment horizon. Like an experienced ship captain uses tools to avoid stormy weather, Arlington Capital Management uses tools to guide you through market corrections before it's too late and help us decide when to capitalize on opportunity. Call Arlington Capital Management today at 855-471-5796 to learn how their active management systems can help you. Each day, they actively explore the market, our economy, and all the variables that affect your investments. Stormy markets never cloud their vision. The professionals at Arlington Capital Management use their tools and experience to guide them. Call Arlington Capital Management today at 855-471-5796 for a financial review. The number again is 855-471-5796 or learn more at arlington-capital.com.
Hi, I'm Carl Deichler, the CEO of Beachbody, and I'm here to tell you about an amazing new way you can start losing weight for free right now. You've probably seen our workout DVDs on TV like P90X, Insanity, and 21 Day Fix. We just launched a beta trial of our new digital video platform, Beachbody On Demand. So while we're testing out this new digital video service, I'm inviting you to use it for free for 30 days. That means you can lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, even 30 pounds without paying a dime. Text the word TRIAL to 303030, and you can do 30 days of P90X, Insanity, or any of over 400 workouts for free. Now here's the catch. In return, all I ask is you let us know what you think of the service so we can make Beachbody On Demand the best fitness and weight loss site ever created. Just text TRIAL to 303030 and get started for free right now. Again, text TRIAL to 303030.
Message and data rates may apply. Membership fees apply after 30-day free trial. Cancel anytime.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
The Trump administration repealed Obamacare repeal in favor of an Obamacare fix. Will conservative Republican congressmen get on board? We'll ask Ed Henry, Fox News Channel at 8:08.
And who's in? Tomorrow is a day without women. I call it a day without love.
Will Amy Jacobson be here today, or will she sell out her gender? I mean, tomorrow.
We'll find out. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Excuse me. Here's Mike Scott.
No snorting. This is a no snorting zone. 50 degrees outside right now. Severe weather across the area overnight. We'll tell you where the power outages are in just a moment. Mayor Emanuel responds to the president's revised travel ban. An employee falls down an elevator shaft at a Chicago flour mill. Pistons beat the Bulls. Windy and mild, plenty of sunshine. WIND Chicago News Time is 8 o'clock.
Fox News Radio. I'm Dave Anthony. Democrats oppose it as a way to make America sick again. But President Trump tweets it's a wonderful health care bill, the one the House Republicans now have to repeal and replace Obamacare. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, even with the GOP in control of both chambers, the fate of the bill is uncertain. Republicans are divided over tax credits designed to take the place of subsidies that help people buy health insurance. Some, like Senator Rand Paul, say the credits are another entitlement program, and he calls the bill Obamacare Light.
It won't work. Premiums and prices will continue to spiral out of control.
Others say the measure does what voters wanted by getting rid of the individual mandate and subsidies while keeping the pre-existing condition clause and allowing young people to stay on their parents' insurance until the age of 26. Dave.
Rachel, President Trump fired up on Twitter again this morning amid all the debate and the probe into his campaign ties with Russia. He writes, for 8 years, Russia ran over President Obama, got stronger and stronger, picked off Crimea, and added missiles. He also tweeted, 122 prisoners released from Guantanamo by the Obama administration have returned to the battlefield. But an intelligence report out last year said 113 of those terror detainees were actually released during the Bush administration.
When refugees are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back! That stand up, fight back chant outside the White House is in protest to the president's new immigration executive order, revising the one blocked in court that temporarily halts travel from 6 predominantly Muslim countries deemed terror threats. Iraq's no longer on the list. Somalia is. Its new president wants that order lifted. The U.S. has sent missile launchers to South Korea for a defense system.
China is unhappy, believing the THAAD radar will blunt its nuclear abilities. Beijing has been retaliating against South Korean businesses, such as retail stores and touring musicians. Seoul says it may report China to the World Trade Organization.
That's Fox's Alistair Wanklund in our Asia Bureau. Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced.
This morning, skies are clearing. We have 50 degrees, but winds out of the west at 17 miles an hour. 8:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Another round of storms raked the state of Illinois last night. Several tornado watches, other severe weather warnings, top wind gusts at 70 miles an hour, and plenty of hail in the area. Power outages continue, according to ComEd, across their service area. Several traffic lights are out. Poles and tree limbs are down and blocking roadways in some spots. There's another confirmed case of the mumps in Barrington. Lake County Health Department saying yesterday a person living in that northwestern suburb has contracted the viral infection. 2 other confirmed cases announced last week involved students at Barrington High. Grammy-winning artist Chance the Rapper, for meetings with Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner, is calling on the governor to use executive power to better fund Chicago public schools, and he himself donates $1 million to a school foundation.
This $10K will go towards the funding of after-school programs and art enrichment programs at these schools. Illinois currently ranks dead last, 50th out of the 50 states when it comes to funding public education.
Mayor Emanuel responding to President Trump's revised immigrant travel restrictions. The president signing the new executive order yesterday. Mayor Emanuel releasing a statement calling what he called the travel ban a betrayal of our nation's values to slam the door on refugees. Chicago sports. Pistons beat the Bulls 109-95. Last night in the MAC tournament, Eastern Michigan knocked out Northern Illinois. Wisconsin-Milwaukee knocked UIC out of the Horizon League tournament last night. The news is a service of Liberty Mutual. From weather to traffic and everything in between, you have enough things to worry about. Insurance should not be one of them. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. 8:04 time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network. In the service of Turnkey.pro, here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Verizon is offering its first prepaid package of Fios fiber optic data, voice, and television. Engadget is reporting the new plan called Fios Prepaid won't require a subscription of any kind. You pay with a debit or credit card online at the end of every month or using a kiosk at a Verizon wireless store. The basic service starts at $60 a month. ExxonMobil is investing $20 billion over the next 5 years to expand chemical and oil refining plants in the U.S. along the Gulf Coast. Index fund State Street Global Advisors says it will push big companies to have more women on their boards. State Street says it will vote against board members who nominate new directors if they don't make strides toward adding women. The Dow closed down 51 yesterday. NASDAQ dropped 21. S&P was down 7. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:05 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity sees a better future in the Middle East.
It is a remarkable moment that after 8 years of hostility, former President Obama showed our closest ally and the only democracy in the region, in the Middle East, such transparent hatred, even at times, in my opinion. I believe history, potentially, very strongly, could look back at this press conference as the beginning of real peace in the Middle East.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
What's it like to be a student at Northeastern University's top 4 ranked online MBA? One recent graduate said,
"My participation in the International Field Study Program was one of the reasons why I chose Northeastern over other online MBAs. I went to Turkey and Greece, and I had access to companies like I have never experienced before. I would have never had this kind of experience had I not done this program."
To speak to an enrollment advisor, text MANAGE to 35517. That's MANAGE to 35517.
Over 3 million businesses use Indeed.com for hiring, and independent research shows that 5 times more hires are made through Indeed than any other job site. By creating the easiest, most effective hiring experience, we help businesses find great new people every day. Right now, we're giving new users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job on the world's #1 job site. Claim your $50 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
8:06 and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Thanks, Mike. In South Barrington, southbound 59 is closed from Penny to Wood Oaks with a crash. On the inbound Edens, it's a 21-minute drive. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 26th. Kennedy is jammed. Sayre to the Hubbard Tunnel. An hour and 17 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 44 minutes from Montrose, 34 in the Express. Outbound 33 to the airport, the Eisenhower. An hour and 16 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. 56 minutes from Mannheim. Outbound 47 to Thorndale. Mount Stevenson, the ramp from northbound 83 to northbound 55 still shut down with a crash. Stevenson is an hour and 5 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 41 minutes. Ryan, 32 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, delays start at Lawrence, 32 minutes, Hollywood to Monroe. Northbound Tri-States, low 87th, we're on 83rd, and then past there in pockets to 31st, then from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Veterans Royal heavy, Fountain to the Reagan Tollway and Army Trail to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte. AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the AirComfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Here's meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Windy with sunshine today, gusts up to 35 miles per hour, high 54. Then a clear and breezy night, low 37. Sunshine again tomorrow, windy with gusts up to 40 miles per hour during the day and 30 miles per hour at night, high tomorrow 52 and a low 29. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
44 at O'Hare, 46 along the lakefront. Next news at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Kelly Financial Services, helping you secure your financial future today. Visit kellyfinancialservicesinc.com.
Good morning. Welcome to your Tuesday morning briefing. Here's what you need to know to start your day.
This order is part of our ongoing efforts to eliminate vulnerabilities that radical Islamist terrorists can and will exploit for destructive ends.
So with all due respect to the orders, I can't cross-examine anonymous sources. You can't even directly examine them. It's a lot easier to write a news piece than it is to conduct an investigation.
I am donating $1 million to CPS. I'm challenging major companies and corporations in Chicago and all across the U.S. to donate and to take action.
Let's go! This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So this is interesting. WikiLeaks back in the news, as if the intelligence community wasn't suffering enough of a crisis of confidence, the American people's confidence in the intelligence community with how politicized it's become, and the dueling conspiracy theories. There's this, WikiLeaks set to release the first full part of its series called Vault 7 this afternoon. This is, Julian Assange.
You know who his new girlfriend is?
David Hasselhoff.
No, Pamela Anderson.
I knew it was somebody from Baywatch. Yeah. The first full part of the series, Year Zero, comprises 8,761 documents and files from an isolated, high-security network situated inside the CIA Center for Cyber Intelligence in Langley, says WikiLeaks. Year Zero introduces the scope and direction of the CIA's global covert hacking program, its malware arsenal, and dozens of zero-day, quote-unquote, weaponized exploits against a wide range of U.S. and European company products. Might be Mike Pompeo just got there. He may be reconsidering at this point, depending on what those docs contain. For more on this topic and many, many others, as there's a lot of action in D.C. these days, we're pleased to be joined by our friend Ed Henry, who, of course, is the chief national correspondent for Fox News Channel. Ed, thanks for joining us.
Oh, wait.
There we go. Hey, Ed. There we got you.
How are you doing?
Good, good. So, what's your sense on the Hill and within intelligence circles about this latest WikiLeaks document dump, if there's any reaction to this point?
Well, I mean, look, I think this is the kind of thing that normally probably would get or should get a lot of attention, but there's just so much happening at once. I mean, you think about the last 24 hours, finally an Obamacare repeal and replace plan, the executive order on immigration 2.0, more on the president suggesting that former President Obama wiretapped him and wiretapped Trump Tower. And so now you've got more from WikiLeaks. All of this is in one big stew. And frankly, I think, the media is picking and choosing. And what do you think most of the mainstream media is going to pick first? They're going to pick the stories that hammer President Trump and maybe spend a little less time on the ones that don't.
Well, did you notice this? Because I wake up every morning and I log on to Twitter just to see what Donald Trump is tweeting. But the Trump Care, the American Health Care Act, he released via his POTUS account and not the real Donald Trump. Are you reading into anything with that?
No, I mean, I think, maybe sometimes he'll do something like the Obamacare deal, which is more official business, and put that on the @POTUS account. Other times, more political attacks might come from the @real Donald Trump. I mean, to be honest, that should be there should be some kind of a line there, because the @POTUS account started in the Obama administration, remember, is cataloged because of the presidential, Federal Records Act and all of that. And so actually those tweets are technically supposed to be all saved and about official business. But look, I think this president has ripped up that rule book a long time ago. We're going to get some official business out of the @POTUS account. We're going to get some commentary. We're going to get some politics. We're going to get a little bit of something of everything.
So on the Obamacare replace, turns out the replacement got replaced with a fix. It's not really a replacement. I think it will be the perspective by from a lot of conservatives, including Senator Rand Paul. And I wonder what the sense is on the Hill about Republicans all getting on board on this.
Yeah, I don't see Republicans getting all on board, to answer your question directly. I see a lot of division, and that leads me to two conclusions. One, I do think it's important that you mentioned Rand Paul. I had him on Fox a couple weeks ago when I was filling in for Tucker Carlson, and he laid out his own plan that's interesting. No one person is going to have a lock on this. This is going to be a negotiation, obviously, but it certainly seems like the quote-unquote official plan that came out yesterday is not going very far. And I think the second conclusion I have is, I've talked to Governor Rick Scott of Florida, who used to be executive of one of the biggest hospital chains in the world. You remember HCA before he was governor. And he tells me that he thinks Washington is doing this all wrong. He thinks it should not be some grand bargain that's this massive bill like we saw yesterday to repeal or replace, that it should be do it in chunks, both the repeal and the replacement, meaning why not start with one step at a time? Why not, politically and PR-wise, it probably helps the president because, you come out one day and say, hey, we're going to pass a bill that says 26 and under, you stay on your parents' plan, up or down. How are the Democrats going to vote against that? And so from a political and PR standpoint, it's good for the president. But more importantly, from the substance of it, you pick the things that actually are working and keep them, and then repeal the parts that clearly are not working. But I think ultimately the gut reaction from people on Capitol Hill, Democrat or Republican, is let's do some massive Washington solution. That's what Obamacare was, right? And that's what Republicans rejected. Why is Washington remaking 1/5 of the economy, or all of those charges? So now the Republicans are going to respond in Washington by having their own plan to remake 1/5 of the economy. Why not do it piece by piece, bite sizes that the American people can digest? Because what's going to happen is, remember the infamous Nancy Pelosi comment about, we need to pass the bill in order to know what's in it? Yeah. How many Republican lawmakers right now do you think know what's in this bill?
Well, hopefully they'll brush up on it before they begin. But
or at least read Kevin Brady's op-ed in the Wall Street Journal to find out.
Yeah, but at least there's a summary.
Yeah, but part of the American Health Care Act, or Trump Care, or whatever you want to call it, is to defund Planned Parenthood, and I'm sure the Democrats are going to push back hard on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see that there's now a potential compromise being floated by President Trump himself, saying, look, I will work to preserve this funding for Planned Parenthood if you do one big thing, which is guarantee that the money's not being used for abortions. And you see Planned Parenthood rejecting that deal. So what does that tell you about where the money's going?
Well, and conservatives would reject that deal, too, because...
Yeah, they're not happy either.
Yeah,
but
I mean, the money is fungible.
The president has to show leadership and say, I know the conservatives won't like this. I know the liberals might not like it. But, frankly, why is so much time and effort spent on Planned Parenthood when it's, how much of the federal budget? I'm not saying the money should be spent. But if somebody could finally come up with a deal that says, here's how we're going to deal with it, because otherwise this is such a small part of the bigger budget. And meanwhile, how much time are we spending on Medicare and Medicaid and these massive entitlements that are the real drivers of our debt. We spend very little time talking about that in Washington. Instead, they get into these little side fights about Planned Parenthood and other matters. I'm not saying they don't matter. They're principled fights, but it's a drop in the ocean in terms of the money that's spent.
Talking about the executive order, the revised executive order that was promulgated yesterday by the Trump troika. We got to stay consistent with the Russian theme here. So Rexon, Sessions, and
Rexon.
I'm popularizing that.
I know. I've heard it.
Yeah, thank you. And Kelly, of course, unveiling it, laying out the principle, laying out the policy, offering to our allies about why we're doing this, the explanation about why Iraq is not on the list. I thought that was very instructive. The Trump team learned a lesson here about measuring twice and cutting once?
Yeah, I think they probably did. I mean, even though what's funny is they won't admit that the first one was kind of botched. They say, oh, no, it was fine, but we're going to do it completely differently this time. Remember the first one, big show of the president signing it himself in the White House, and then this time, much different, as you say, with, I guess, Rexon, as you say, and the other cabinet secretaries taking the lead, which is what they should have done in the first place. The president doesn't have to take the lead on every single thing. He has a team that he should rely on. And frankly, when you put Rex Tillerson and the Attorney General and the Department of Homeland Security chief in charge of these things, they're the ones who are supposed to implement it. So when you have them lead on it, it makes it more policy-based and more focused on the idea that, hey, this is serious policy, and it's about extreme vetting. It's not about a Muslim ban like Democrats like to charge and all the rest. But when you botch the rollout, you give your critics more fodder. And I think this time maybe they learned their lesson.
It's so cool when Ed Henry uses one of my monikers.
Yeah,
I know.
And I feel like I've really arrived.
Yeah, I think Rexon is catching on.
All right, very good. Ed Henry, Chief National Correspondent for Fox News Channel. Ed, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, tomorrow, a day without women. Will I show up?
Or will you sell out your gender?
Oh, but first, here's your forecast. Plenty of sunshine, but plenty of windy conditions as well. A high of 54 degrees. Tonight, clear and breezy, a low of 37. And for tomorrow, Wednesday, it'll be windy again, but we still will have this brilliant sunshine returning, a high in the low 50s. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. In Yorkville, Minkler Road is still closed between 71 and Hunt Club with downed power lines. The Edens now just 20 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose outbound 28. Inbound Kennedy, delays start at Nagel. It is an hour and 10 minutes, so O'Hare to downtown, a little quicker in the Express. Outbound 29 minutes. The Eisenhower, an hour and 21 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, an hour and 3 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 45 minutes to Thorndale. Mount Stevenson, the ramp from northbound 83 to northbound 55 still closed with a truck which spilled its load. A lot of lunch meat on that truck. The Stevenson is an hour and 6 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 46 minutes. The Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, delays are from around 87th to the 83rd Street toll, Plainfield Road to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, Veterans Memorial slow, Boughton Toll to the Reagan Tollway. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do on this show each morning. Long-form interviews with opinion leaders and policymakers like Jim Uriel from CNBC, featured on this week's Against the Current. 60-second commentaries from yours truly this week. I focus on picking up our wounded on the political battlefield. Dollars and cents, commentaries, 2-minute warnings about Paul's gone wrong. Podcast for our Illinois Rising program, which covers Illinois politics and policy, as well as Follow the Logic, Man on the Street interviews, which are always quite informative and entertaining. It's all at upstream-ideas.com.
I'm worried that my employees are costing me a fortune every month in damaged or missing inventory. I'm not sure how to solve this problem or who to turn to.
Alarm Detection Systems installs video cameras that watch over your place of business, reduce loss, and increase profits with advanced security. ADS is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. Alarm license number 127000143.
I can't get the alarm company on the phone to save my life. My alarm's going off all the time, and I don't know why. It's driving me crazy.
Call Alarm Detection Systems. We have live reps answering our phones 24/7, 365. No auto attendant. Call 630-844-6300. get better customer service in return. Alarm Detection Systems is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Visit adsalarm.com. Alarm license number 127000143.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I had gout in both my knees, and it's gone.
Well, I'm pretty stupid. I should have ordered it 15 years ago. It's the most effective product that I've ever bought in my life.
He had eczema on his hand, and it cracked for years. He did anything from doctor, every cream, everything. And 3 months on the veggies and fruit, it was gone.
They're just awesome. They keep asking me, what am I doing? I told them what I did with my cholesterol. I had the blood test, right? And it went down 100 points. 262, now it's 162. Everything is just perfect.
Balance of Nature is celebrating its 20th anniversary by providing you the best offer they've ever given. 2 free months of fruits and veggies and free shipping. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, what's it going to be, Amy? You coming to work tomorrow?
I don't know.
Without women. Day without women. Let me give you an example.
Well, it's a day without women strike to protest President Donald Trump.
No, I understand. How about this? In Washington, Alexandria City Public Schools will be closed Wednesday after more than 300 staff requested the day off. The unusual number of call-outs clearly connected to Day Without a Woman nationwide protest, which is also International Women's Day. That's tomorrow.
Yeah, 16 public schools in Alexandria, Virginia will be closed. I don't know. I mean, I have some suggestion. I mean, would I be turning on my own if I don't conform? If I don't, what happens if I come to work tomorrow? Will I be a sellout? 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line.
You're probably asking the wrong guy on that topic. It turns out, just a little bit of a reminder here,
I'm sorry, did you say a lot of women, college-educated women, voted for Donald Trump?
Yeah, in point of fact, he lost women by a significant but, not overwhelming margin, 54-46. 54% to 46 nationwide, and he won college-educated women. Mm-hmm. So, boy, oh boy, maybe all of this women this and women that represents women who just have one point of view. And then there's these millions of other women that think differently. Imagine.
The organizers of A Day Without Women are the same women who organized the historic Women's March on Washington.
Oh, it was historic.
They're asking women around the world to skip work, wear red, and avoid spending money for a day so that the economy will collapse. This is great because I can go shopping at the Jewels and nobody will bother me because nobody will be there. Hey.
Yeah. Could you get Ashley Judd to fill in for you tomorrow if you do take it up? Here's the question. This is another classic case of, and you're protesting what exactly?
Well, we want to understand how integral women are to the world economy.
Is anybody arguing that they're not?
No, I mean, we do purchase. We make the main purchases in our household.
So my point is to say
everything, really.
This is a protest in response to an argument that no one is making? Oh, okay, I got it. I just wanted to understand.
Well,
nobody is suggesting that women are not an integral part of the economy, and so the protest is just to get another day's use out of your pea hat.
They're also asking us not to go shop online because a lot of ladies like to do that, sit and click and order things. I got a great suggestion.
So are you coming to work or not?
Well, it says I could identify tomorrow as a man. I can come to work and demand to use the men's room, restroom.
Yeah.
And maybe I could wear a plaid flannel shirt and some penny loafers, dress like a man, pull my hair back, look like a man.
Yeah, or a member of the Indigo Girls, one of the two. Steve in Wayne, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Oh,
you got to hit
I have a proposal for a day without liberals. I think that's the answer to everything.
A day without liberals counter-protest. Yeah, okay. Thanks for you're basically going to get it when women go galt for a day tomorrow, right? Isn't that?
Well, that's not enough, though. That doesn't cover all of them.
That's true. You're right. Thanks for the call, Steve. That's true. It does not cover all of them.
Well, the reason why some of these public schools are closing, they're deciding whether now in Durham, North Carolina, to close school there because most of the teachers are women. And most of the substitute teachers are women.
Could I just offer a suggestion that maybe you could filter back to some of your compatriots?
Mm-hmm.
And that is, could you postpone this? I mean, this is for the long-suffering, non-leftist men who are married to these shrill leftist women, and I don't understand that in the first place.
Social justice warriors.
I don't understand that in the first place. If somebody is married to a liberal woman, a conservative dude married to a liberal woman, I mean, I do not get it. So you want to call in and explain it to me, that's fine. But here's the thing. For those men, if I could just speak for them for a moment.
For the conservative men who are married to liberal ladies, yes.
Could you just for them, for one day, could you postpone it till next Thursday, a week from Thursday, the first round of the NCAA tournament? So they could have a day where they could enjoy the first round sans their better halves. Darlene in Long Grove, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, Dan and Amy. This march makes no sense because Trump's been in office for 6 weeks. So if you don't come to work tomorrow, you don't have a job. A small business or medium-sized business, what are they supposed to shut down because someone doesn't want to come to work?
Right.
Oh, they're shutting schools down.
Thanks for the call, Darlene. Yeah, those are not bottom-line sensitive enterprises, as we know. And
I mean, when we had a day without immigrants, 50,000 CPS students didn't show up for school.
And
those were excused absences.
And a lot of people didn't show up for work, the unexcused absences, and those people in certain businesses in many states,
in Colorado, I know,
got fired.
Mm-hmm.
So what about that? If you don't show up tomorrow, your woman doesn't show up for work tomorrow, unexcused absence, should you be fired?
312-642-5600.
Miss Jacobson.
I don't know, Mr. Bra.
How much do you like your current employment? Huh?
How much do I like my job?
Oh, no. Don't. Now you're combining the 2 days.
Love my job. So I don't know. We'll see if I'm here or not.
You'll be here.
How do you write women so well?
I think of a man, and I take away reason and accountability.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
If you could quickly and painlessly clear your psoriasis or vitiligo, would you?
No matter how big the psoriasis is, no matter how small the psoriasis, we can help you.
Ashley is a clinical specialist for Extract, the amazing in-office treatment for psoriasis and vitiligo that's clinically proven to show immediate results with up to 95% clearance.
What my patients love most about the Extract treatments is it's safe, it's FDA cleared, and they're seeing results very quickly.
End the embarrassing, painful patches and discoloration with Extract. There's no medications, no topical ointments, and virtually no side effects. Extract uses light to transform your skin and change your life. It's covered by all major insurances and Medicare, and will help you find a doctor close by.
I love what I do. I love coming in every day and making a difference in patients' lives. It's amazing.
Call now to live Extract Clear. Call 800-961-9279. That's 800-961-9279. 800-961-9279 or visit xtracradio.com. Qualified patients, certain restrictions apply.
Oh, please come along with us. Join me, Dan Proft, and Joe Walsh in beautiful Punta Cana this year. You just have a few short days left to book that trip, so do it right now. We're going to be staying at the Secrets Cap Cana Resort and Spa, brand new resort. If you look at it online, you're going to just be blown away. Wow. Kapow, it's gorgeous. And it's a gated community, so there's your own marina there. There's 2 championship golf courses designed by Jack Nicklaus. 8 of the holes are along the ocean. I mean, it is spectacular. And there's an equestrian park, and you can play polo with Dan Proft. Really, you're not going to want to miss out. 5 gourmet restaurants, 7 bars, 24-hour-a-day room service. Book your trip right now. Get more information and book that trip. How do you do it? Well, you visit 560theanswer.com/passport. That's 560theanswer.com/passport. Everything's included. You just have to get yourself to O'Hare Airport. So time is running out to secure this exclusive price from our good friends at Apple Vacations. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
First of all, Bob from Lincoln Park and the other callers who know conservative men married to liberal women, I want to hold because I want to talk to you. I want to learn something today. Number one. Number two, coming up, we're going to offer something for you to learn, which is what Chance the Rapper and Tiny Dancer's Toady Forrest have in common. That's at 8:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
Sunshine. 48 degrees, winds gusting out of the west at 18 miles an hour. A House GOP plan to replace the Affordable Care Act is out. The proposal contains many Obamacare provisions, many actually pre-existing Obamacare, like pre-existing condition protections, and allowing young adults to remain on parents' policies until the age of 26. Senator John McCain calling on President Trump to produce evidence that the Obama administration wiretap phones at Trump Tower. President Trump's revised travel ban officially taking effect next week. Democratic National Committee Chairman Tom Perez spoke out against the ban during a White House rally last night.
America is at its best when we are building bridges of opportunity and not walls of distrust.
The president signing that new executive order yesterday. As many as 200 are out of their homes this morning after 29 tornadoes tore through portions of the Midwest. Yesterday, at one point, nearly 200,000 electric customers in the Kansas City area were without power. Here in Illinois, storms raked the state, triggering watches and weather warnings. The top wind gusts locally about 70 miles an hour in Shorewood, quarter-size hail and 62-mile-an-hour winds in DeKalb. ComEd is reattaching homes to power after the winds tore down lines and poles. There's another confirmed case of mumps in Barrington, as the Lake County Health Department said yesterday. A person living in that northwest suburb has contracted the viral infection. 2 confirmed cases were announced last week involving students at Barrington High School. Chicago sports last night. Pistons pull away from the Bulls down the stretch for a 109-95 win. The news is a service of Westin Hotels and Resorts. Westin knows how disruptive travel can be to your well-being. But with rejuvenating heavenly beds, a nutritious Superfoods RX menu, and gear lending for when you leave without that workout gear, Westin will help you stay in control and rise above it all. Westin. Let's rise. Learn more at Westin.com. 8:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher delivers the numbers on why the Democrats are scrambling.
It's a stunning set of statistics. The grand total during Barack Obama's West Wing tenure, a net loss of 1,042 state and federal Democrat posts. The Democrats are in free fall.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, best beans, best roast, best coffee.
Hello, everyone, and here we go again with Karen Lewis and the Chicago Teachers Union demanding more money from the Chicagoland taxpayers. Well, I say enough is enough. The teachers get paid from the property taxes that homeowners pay every year. If the Teachers Union gets more money, that means your property taxes are going to go higher. This is Tom Mirabali, your health insurance advocate and independent representative for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and other health insurance carriers. For months now, I have been telling you about purchasing health savings account PPO plans that will cost you approximately 40% less in monthly premiums than you're currently paying now. Well, the same thing applies to the Teachers Union. I can show the union that they can purchase a more comprehensive health insurance plan that is in full compliance with the Affordable Care Act and will cost the taxpayers up to 40% less in monthly health insurance premiums. For more information, you can call me at 630-863-3477. That's 630-863-3477.
8:36 and a check of the roads in our alarm detection system traffic center. Here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. On the inbound Kennedy, delay started Austin. It is an hour and 10 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 41 minutes from Montrose, 35 in the Express. Outbound 29 to the airport. Edens, 21 minutes. Lake Cook to the junction. Outbound 23, the Eisenhower, an hour and 14 minutes. Thorndale to the post office, 57 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 40 to Thorndale. Northbound I-55, the ramp from northbound 83 to the inbound Stevens, still blocked. There was a truck crash, a spilled trailer of lunch meat all over. Snow baloney, an hour and 11 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 40 minutes. The Ryan, 33 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State delays, 87th to the Stevenson. Plainfield Road to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, Veterans Memorial, it's heavy from the Boughton Toll to the Reagan Tollway. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the aircomfort.com Weather Center, providing the right climate for business since 1935. Windy and mild, plenty of sunshine today, a high near 54. Currently 45. Next news coming up at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
Good morning, Dan and Amy.
Do your cow dance, because we're wearing cow jackets.
Yeah, Scotch Lady designer limited edition cow trading jackets. They're very handsome. And
I feel more mannish in it.
We appreciate Scotch Lady's generosity. It's Chicago haute couture here.
You know why I feel manly in it? Because it reeks of cigar smoke.
You're welcome.
I looked on the inside. No, I'm very appreciative, but I'm going to wash this. It's 100% cotton. It's machine wash cold, tumble dry low. So
great.
it'll be more form-fitting tomorrow.
You can do the infomercial for Shalady when he comes out with a line of these,
he should.
these jackets. I want to get to Chance the Rapper's grandstanding in the Chicago media's cheerleading, but we were talking about a day without women tomorrow, and you being the kind of independent, counterintuitive thinker within your circle of Lakeview liberal lady friends.
I'm a feminist Republican.
Yeah, it's not a contradiction in terms.
No.
And so you're not taking the day off. You're coming to work.
Well, I don't know. I'm on the bubble.
You're coming to work. No, you're not going to tell. Let me tell you what to do. Okay,
don't tell me
take
how
it
to
easy,
feel.
Ellen Reddy. Okay, all right.
I am woman. Hear me roar. The number's too big to explore.
All right, then now that's enough, Ellen Reddy. All right, so here's the thing. My question was, how can a conservative be married to a liberal? This is kind of an age-old question, but I honestly don't understand it, especially the shrill left. And I mean the shrill left, men and women. We got a text from 773. Lifelong friend of mine is a flaming liberal, and his wife is a good conservative. He acts more like a woman than she does. I bet he does.
Oh, hell. Well, my marriage didn't work out because he was a flaming liberal.
See?
Yeah.
What the heck were you thinking?
I wasn't thinking, Dan.
People need to listen to me for parenting tips and relationship advice. Those are my two core competencies.
Right.
That's what I'm really good at.
And fashion advice.
No question.
I mean, really.
I'm no Shalady, but I try. Bob in Lincoln Park, he's going to enlighten us on the topic. Thanks for calling.
Hey, Dan and Amy. Unfortunately, what I've seen out there are conservative men that seem to get married to liberal women.
Yeah.
A lot of them actually change and become liberal. I've actually lost friends because of that. I actually married a conservative girl. They were all uber conservative when we were all single, but now they've all converted to become liberal, and we really don't talk to them a whole lot anymore, unfortunately. But that's what I'm seeing out there.
There's no question. Thanks for the call, Bob. There's a term for men who abandon their belief system and become left-wing, crazies.
And wear pea hats.
And wear pea hats and so forth.
DC.
There's a term for those men who do that because they married a liberal woman. You know what that term is? Chick.
Oh, they're man chicks.
Yeah, they're eunuchs. Those aren't men. and there's a lot of guys. I mean, guys, quote unquote. There's a lot of people roaming around impersonating men out there. So you got to be on the lookout. And I'm not talking about the gender benders. I'm talking about people that identify as a man.
You know what?
That have the XY, but they resemble nothing.
You know what? I've
approaching what a man should represent.
Got a few on the block, and they're the ones who outsource everything. They can't even shovel because they don't want to ruin their manicure.
Yeah.
I feel more like a man than them. Square up.
You're 5 times the man they'll ever be. Bob in Bloomingdale.
Hey, Good morning there, Dan. This is Bob. I'm the guy that voted for you in Bloomingdale.
My one
Township,
vote from
by the way.
Bloomingdale. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm proposing this. How about a day without men? Let's throw it right back at them. Make them take out their own garbage, bar them from any male companionship for 24 hours, thereby forcing them to use their vibrator. What do you think? Can we get
Hello, Bob.
Bob.
Oh, the
First of all, Bob,
bedroom enhancer has been called.
First of all, Bob, let me set you straight,
Oh, please.
if I may.
Yes.
Women are the house cleaners. We are the accountants. We are the shoppers. We do everything a lot when you guys are at work. And some of us work and plus do all the chores at home. So say men take out garbage. Oh, like the garbage isn't going to be taken out if we have a day without men.
Do you think, here's the thing.
Taken out, excuse me. Yes.
Here's the thing. There's never going to be a day without men, like a day where men don't go to work. They go to work to escape their wives, don't they? Why?
And their kids.
That would be a protest, right?
And the chores at home.
I don't want to be at home. That's where my wife and kids are. I want to be at work. Sean in Elmwood Park will have something important to say on this topic.
Uh-oh.
First of all, be quiet, Prof. You don't tell everybody the deal. You understand? Don't tell anybody about work and how we avoid them. And most of all, don't talk these women from staying home, because you have any idea how many guys are going to go to work like the Seven Dwarfs tomorrow, whistling hi-ho, hi-ho? Leave everything alone. Okay? And Amy, that's not reek. That's aroma, ambiance.
Okay.
So enjoy the smell.
My eyes are burning
Thanks for the
over
call,
here.
Sean. It's our musk.
Oh, please. I got man scent all over me. I want to go home and take a shower.
Greg in Berwyn, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, Dan, it sounds like you were describing our governor there.
Which part?
Excuse me?
Which part?
Well, he's married to a liberal woman, isn't he? And
Yes.
your description fit him well, I thought.
Thanks for the call, Greg.
And this is conjecture on my part, but one of the reasons why I don't think Governor Ronner has met face-to-face with President Donald Trump is because of his wife. Because I think that she would be horribly offended and kick him to the curb if he even shook that man's hand.
I just want to. Now we're getting. This is like a whole Bobby Riggs, Billie Jean King thing is breaking out here. 630 text Amy. I do all of the shopping and cooking in my house. Bob from West Chicago.
Oh, hi, Bob. Do you want to come over?
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob. I could use you for a week. That'd be great. Teach me how to cook some more meals.
John from Mundelein, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Oh, I can't.
And now you're gone.
Oh.
And that's how quickly it happens.
What happened?
John from Mundelein's this liberal crank who likes to call in. He likes to stalk us. Stalk me in particular because he followed me over from WLS. Then he'll email me and he'll go be on social media and the whole thing because I don't know. He's got some kind of weird fixation with me, but I'm not really interested in the shrill left. And I get that from the press corps every day.
The Swedish mafia can take care of him for you.
Yeah, he's a gnat. He's just uninteresting. He's just boring. If you're going to be hard leftist, it's fine. Call in, but be interesting. Have something important to say. So that's all. I don't think it's a bridge too far. Jeff and Gurnee, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, good morning, guys. I was just telling your producer that, I used to go to work all the time, and then I got a little promotion, so it afforded me the ability to work at home. And when I told my wife that I'm going to be home, she was probably fake crying because, now I'm cutting into her alone time, and she wanted me to get out of the house. So I'll take a listen to your comment.
Thanks for the call, Jeff. Right. I mean, that cuts both ways.
I know a lot of people who work at home and their wives beg them to get an office somewhere. It's too much time together. You need to have your own space, your own time.
Yeah.
Your own workspace.
Yeah. So, you can't do the whole, you're being a misogynist. The guy wants to escape the home to go to work and be away from the wife. The wife wants him to go to work, too.
Exactly.
That's the foundation of a strong relationship.
Works both ways. You see that?
Yeah. I'm starting to see it. It's starting to come into focus. All right. Let's come back and get Chance the Rapper in here before we go.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
John from Mundelein, it's over. Hang up the phone.
He so wants to talk.
I know.
But he's not going.
All right. Anyway, we're going to have plenty of sunshine today. It will be windy, a high of 54 degrees. Tonight, clear and breezy, a low of 37. And tomorrow, windy with plenty of sunshine, a high of 52 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Amy and Dan, south side of Chicago, 76th remains closed between Racine and Borgen due to police activity. Inbound Kennedy, delays start at Austin. An hour and 12 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 46 minutes from Montrose, 31 on the Express. Outbound 30 from downtown to O'Hare. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 24. The Eisenhower, an hour and 14 minutes. Thorndale to downtown, outbound 40 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 9 minutes, 3:55 to the drive. The on-ramp from northbound 83 still blocked. Inbound Ryan, running 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that this product works. I even recommended it to my mother, and she's been taking it, and she's 89 years old.
Makes me feel good. It really does. I could feel a change in my well-being, let's put it that way.
So far, it has helped my irritable bowel. So I'm just praying that it just keeps going, because you don't know. This was a dreadful thing. Dreadful.
Balance of Nature is celebrating its 20th anniversary by providing you the best offer they've ever given. 2 free months of fruits and veggies and free shipping. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
Balance of Nature, you guys are awesome. God bless you.
Don't go to bed another night worrying about unfiled tax returns or the letters or the calls you're getting from the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, there's actually good news. The IRS has recently enacted changes in the tax law called the Fresh Start Initiative, specifically for troubled taxpayers who owe the IRS. You may be able to settle your entire tax debt for up to 85% off the original amount owed, including penalties and interest, if you qualify. Call for your free consultation with Comprehensive Tax Solutions. No matter what tax issue you're facing, one call to Mary Karpowitz of Comprehensive Tax Solutions, family owned in Chicagoland, can show you the difference between night and day so that you can enjoy what matters most to you. Don't spend another day or night hiding from the IRS. Call 708-478-6770, 708-478-6770, or go to resolveyourtaxproblems.com. That's resolveyourtaxproblems.com with Comprehensive Tax Solutions.
If you have pain, listen up, Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
And Amy, of course, all of the classic male-female jokes are coming through now. Why do men die before women? Husbands die before their wives.
To get out of the house.
Because they want to. Wife to husband on working from home. I married you for better or worse, but not for lunch.
Oh, that's good.
It goes both ways. It goes both ways.
And men are kind of oblivious, right?
Men, we don't know what we did.
It's so true. That's so true. Family Guy, as usual.
We're crazy and you're oblivious.
The perfect social commentary. Speaking of social commentary, Chance the Rapper.
Oh, yeah.
He made a big announcement after embarrassing Governor Rauner last week. Governor Rauner really embarrassed himself by walking into a meeting to try and get some cheap pandering earned media and not having properly vetted and treating this child, Chance the Rapper, as some kind of important policy thinker. Which, of course, he's not. And then Chance doubled down yesterday with his newfound interest in the education of children in Chicago with a big donation announcement.
I am donating $1 million to CPS.
See, you and I have different takes on this. I see Chance the Rapper as somebody who's done well for himself.
Yes.
A CPS graduate. He went to Jones College Prep, which is a selective enrollment school. Graduated from there, was told by one of his teachers that this music thing isn't going to go well for him, that he should find something else. But he's done very well for himself, and he's giving back to the community. And he's also, it's a call to action. He's challenging other business owners to help the kiddies of Chicago.
I'm challenging major companies and corporations in Chicago and all across the U.S. to donate and to take action.
Mm-hmm. He is not doing with his resources what he could be doing in terms of providing resources that help other families and their kids access the same selective enrollment opportunities he had. Instead, he is not distinguishing between those successful models of K through 12 education and those unsuccessful models, which of course is the overwhelming majority of CPS schools. He is funding a centralized, failed system that fails at exorbitant prices, where we, all the whole state funding of education. Oh, we'll talk about that, but CPS receives most of its funding from the state, and CPS spends as much, if not more, than most suburban school districts, including the ones that are doing very well, like, for example, Wheaton Warrenville South, where I'm from. CPS spends more per pupil on an annual basis. And when you do spending per pupil per graduate, not just per pupil, but per graduate, because that's the point, they spend more than New Trier per graduate. So something else going on, and a Chance is a young man, and he's trying to do something important. A little bit of grandstanding, fine, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. And he should be told he doesn't know what he's talking about, rather than this mindless cheerleading from pandering politicians and cynical, craven educrats benefiting from a status quo that destroys the lives of the majority of 350,000 children in the system because they're not even given the opportunity to earn a quality education. This is who he's financing. This dingbat, Tiny Dancer's toady, Forrest Claypool, who's allegedly in charge of the school system. I mean, he's just a toady. Listen to him on NPR answer a caller's question about Chicago public school teacher pensions. He doesn't know how they work.
Yeah, I can't give you great specifics here without doing the research, but I believe that it depends, on longevity. It depends on your final salaries. I believe the way the system works is that depending on how long you've worked and what your salary is, it varies. But let's say if you've got the maximum number of years, and I think it's like your last four salaries averaged, and you can get as much as 80% of that.
I mean, you've got a budget fund that's 50% funded, that's been cut in half in terms of its funding level in the last 15 years. That is central to the reason that CPS is bankrupt and junk rated, and it's the same story with the state in general, run by the public sector unions. And the guy who's in charge of the school system doesn't even know how it works. That tells you everything you need to know about CPS. And we're supposed to applaud Chance the Rapper for lighting his money on fire. Well, the way that Illinois taxpayers' money has been lit on fire for the last 50 years in CPS, I don't think so.
If I was Chance the Rapper, I would want to follow through and see where my money goes. Like, follow the money. Is it going to line any politicians' pockets? Is this really going to go help the kids with art supplies, with music lessons, with instruments?
Send it to schools that are educating children so more children can go there to get educated. Create a Chance the Rapper scholarship fund to give the resources to families so they can go to send their kids to schools that are educating children and have a track record, like the school that Chance the Rapper went to.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile.